Chapter 1834. Reforged Dragon Heavenly Pattern Tian Dao, Z, was actually very worried. It could be seen that Shimin Dazhuang's actions were still effective. If you don't let us out, I'll turn this heavenly altar into a smelly altar. Shimin Dazhuang laughed and said, Master, I know your soul. You can also feel Pippi Pig's smelly fart. Ha ha! Pippi Pig's smelly fart affected the soul. Shimin Dazhuang had refined a type of talisman that would not be affected by smelly farts. I have to protect my heaven-leaping shuttle. I can't let it stink. Qinyan shook his head and said with a smile, Uncle, what are we going to do next? Shimin Qinglian held Princess Anya's hand and said, Are we going to wait for the Zhuang to succeed? Of course not. We need to refine something now. Qinyan laughed and said, To be honest, I have always wanted to enter the heavenly law altar to refine those things. Qinyan still has 10 Gemini heavenly runes. He wanted to refine 9 dragon heavenly runes with the Gemini heavenly rune in his hand. He had promised the immortal desolate dragon emperor and the red sun dragon mother that he would make a 9 dragons heaven source formation for the dragon race. After he succeeded, he would also obtain the dragon race's ultimate treasure, the mysterious box left behind by the 9 Suns royal race. Qinyan thought about it, and then let Long Tianji, Zi Qingsheng, and Shui Tianzi come out. Shimin Qinglian was overjoyed to the extreme when she saw these 3 great beauties. Of course, she only revealed a charming smile on her face. After pinching Zi Qingsheng's face, Qinyan teleported them to the largest warehouse. He took out many damaged divine-grade weapons and a large number of unchanging holy stones, letting them choose some to melt. As for Qinyan and Princess Anya, they came to the 8th chamber. Qinyan, are you really confident that you can get out? Princess Anya asked. She felt more at ease when she saw that Qinyan was very calm. I have my ways. There is no one in this world who can trap me, Qinyan said with mischievous smile. If you understand me, you should be very clear about this. Princess Anya said, Well, what are you going to do next? What are you going to refine? I want to create a heavenly 9 dragons formation. It's for dragon race. Qinyan said, Dragon clan? Which dragon? Princess Anya asked anxiously. She had previously told Qinyan that if he gave the 9 dragons heavenly origin formation to others, he must discuss it with her. Immortal desolate dragon race. The dragon race led by immortal desolate dragon emperor and scarlet sun dragon mother. Qinyan said, Do you have any objection? If you give it to them, I can. Princess Anya nodded and said, I have met the members of the dragon clan, and they are all very good. What if I give it to the imperial dragon clan and the outer heaven dragon clan? Qinyan said with a smile. Then I don't agree. Those bastards from the Imperial Dragon Clan destroyed the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation themselves. Although that 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation is about to be destroyed, it can at least hold on for a period of time. Speaking of this matter, Princess Anya became angry and said coldly, In the Dragon Clan of the Outer Heavens, these guys are also unreliable. They have a 9 dragons heaven origin formation, but they can't make a name for themselves in the outer heavens. Qinyan said with a smile, Don't worry, I will not give it to them. Qinyan and Princess Anya know that the immortal desolate dragon race is dissatisfied with the 9 Yang Divine Palace. That damn 9 Yang Divine Palace, they actually used this kind of method to open a spatial passage. Princess Anya stamped her foot. They captured me before because they didn't want me to go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. The more they don't want me to go, the more I want to go. Princess, that girl Qinglian is a bit careless. If she goes too far, I hope you won't blame her. Qinyan said, Oof, I already knew it. She's just like Yuan, rotten to the core. Princess Anya lightly groaned and said, She took advantage of me a lot just now. If she was not a woman, I would have turned her into ashes with a single fan. Qinyan said with a smile, Then many thanks to your highness princess for not minding this lowly one's wrongs. Princess Anya coldly groaned and said, Qinyan, you didn't give the 9 dragons heavenly origin formation to the immortal desolate dragon race for nothing, right? Didn't they give you anything good? Immortal Desolate Dragon Emperor promised me that he would give me something left behind by the Nine Yang royal family, a mysterious chest. Qin Yun took out a heavenly rune bead and Gemini treasure mirror and began refining the Gemini heavenly rune. The Gemini treasure mirror had 9 dragon heavenly runes on it, and when it shone on the Gemini heavenly rune, it would transform the Gemini heavenly rune into a dragon heavenly rune. This process would only consume the power of the blood soul. In order to make the dragon heavenly rune even stronger, Qin Yun released the 9 dragons heavenly origin formation and the divine universe golden rock. The 9 dragons heaven origin formation absorbed the divine universe goldstone's power, transformed it, and released it into the heavenly pattern bead and Gemini treasure mirror. As a result, the refined dragon heavenly patterns were extremely powerful. Qin Yun, what are you doing? Princess Anya felt that it was inconceivable for Qin Yun to toss around a pearl with such a big lineup. I'm refining the dragon heavenly pattern. Qin Yun said, the 9 dragon heavenly rune is recorded in my mirror. I want to refine it out from the mirror. Princess Anya was surprised and said, how is this possible? Complete heavenly runes were extremely difficult to refine, especially a heavenly pattern like the 9 dragon heavenly pattern. Qin Yun laughed mischievously and then told Princess Anya about the Gemini heavenly rune. After Princess Anya heard, she clicked her tongue in amazement and said, you are truly the enemy of heavenly Tao. If you refine a dragon heavenly rune like this, you will surely suffer a heavenly punishment, right? Indeed, that kind of heavenly punishment is just ordinary heavenly thunder. It is not a big deal. I experienced it once before. Qin Yun said, the dragon heavenly rune you refine this time will surely be even stronger after being refined by the divine universe golden rock and the 9 dragons heavenly origin formation. Princess Anya said, but it doesn't matter. Inside the heavenly Tao altar, the heavenly punishment can't hit me. Qin Yun said with mischievous smile, the 9 dragons heavenly origin formation I refined this time will be even stronger. I will also use divine tier materials. I will have to trouble you when the time comes. Princess Anya's heavenly flame divine fan can help him refine those divine tier materials. So you want to keep the strongest 9 dragons heavenly origin formation for yourself? Princess Anya asked. Of course. The previous one was given to the immortal desolate dragon race. Qin Yun said with smile. Anyway, the immortal desolate dragon emperor said that the 9 dragons heavenly origin formation is good enough. Princess Anya nodded and said, it is indeed good enough. Their previous 9 dragons heavenly origin formation was almost finished. Qin Yun's dragon heavenly rune this time is even stronger, especially after absorbing divine universe power. He also doesn't know what will happen in the end. It will take several days to refine a dragon heavenly rune. This means that the dragon heavenly rune will be even stronger. Hee. Qin Yun is somewhat excited. Qin Yun, can you also make a 9 dragons heavenly origin formation for me in the future? I won't treat you unfairly. Princess Anya said, the key is the Gemini heavenly rune. I will ask Big Sister Kong for it next time. Qin Yun said, all right. Princess Anya also wants a very strong 9 dragons heavenly origin formation. How about this? I will go to the Guanghan Palace and ask for the Gemini heavenly rune. Qin Yun said with smile. If you go to the Guanghan Palace, Yuan will take advantage of you. Princess Anya groaned and said, there is nothing to be afraid of. I will just take it back. Let's talk about it after we get out. Qin Yun said, if the box given to you by immortal desolate dragon emperor really has something left behind by 9 Sun royal family, then it must have an inheritance mission. Princess Anya suddenly said, then what could it be? Qin Yun is very curious. I don't know. In short, that kind of box existed during the golden age of 9 Sun royal family. Princess Anya shook her head. I have to get my hands on it to know the specifics. In my 9 Sun divine maiden's memory, it is something that 9 Sun royal family used to rise again after their decline. This made Qin Yun even more curious. If that is the case, then it must be a very important inheritance. Qin Yun is refining dragon heavenly rune in 8th secret room. Princess Anya took the initiative to help him refine materials. She brought heavenly lion dragon suppressing cauldron and star fire divine liquid to the large warehouse. Together with those women, they went to pick out god-tier materials to refine. This way, after Qin Yun refined 9 dragon heavenly runes, he can start very quickly. Outside of the heavenly law altar, the few sun altars have been revolving around the great altar for more than 10 days and suddenly stopped. Now, there is news that Qin Yun's heaven leaping shuttle entered the heavenly law altar and then never came out again. As for what happened inside, nobody knows. And above the heavenly law altar, a 100-meter wide white whirlpool appeared, rippling with formless spatial fluctuations. Immortal Desolate Dragon Emperor and Red Sun Dragon Mother are floating in the air. Sigh, Xiao Fuyun was finally suppressed. Immortal Desolate Dragon Emperor sighed. Indeed, why didn't he grow some heart? He actually ran inside. Red Sun Dragon Mother sighed in regret. Let's prepare to go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. Since they invited us, we must go and take a look. Immortal Desolate Dragon Emperor said. Why did they also let Dark Royal Race and Outer Heaven Domain people go? Those guys don't have good intentions. Red Sun Dragon Mother said somewhat angrily. Even if we don't let them go, they will be able to go sooner or later. If we agree to let them use this passage to go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range, they also need to agree to the 9 Yang Divine Palace's conditions and not cause trouble in the Immortal Desolate. Immortal Desolate Dragon Emperor said. In short, this is the 9 Yang Divine Palace's decision. The Alliance Army and the Variant Dragon Race have already arrived at the Immortal Desolate. All kinds of powerful powers are making preparations to go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. And the news of Qin Yun being sealed also made many people feel at ease. Especially the Alliance Army. They're somewhat worried about Qin Yun because Qin Yun is very good at causing trouble. Within a palace hall of the Imperial Race Divine Palace, a group of elders from the 9 Yang Divine Palace and a few clan kings are together. Tian Daozi said that Qin Yun and Princess Yi are sealed inside the Heavenly Law altar and will never be able to escape. An elder from the 9 Yang Divine Palace sighed and said, "What a pity if Qin Yun's Divine Universe Golden Stone fell into our hands. That would be great." The Qin clan king said with some dissatisfaction, "Qin Yun is a member of our imperial race. Moreover, he saved Heartless Immortal Venerable and fought against the Sun Spirit race. He has made great contributions to our imperial race. Qin imperial race is forbidden from entering the heavenly gate." The elder from the 9 Yang Divine Palace shouted coldly. Chapter 1835. The 9 Yang Divine Palace did not allow the Qin Imperial clan to go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. This also angered the Qin clan king, because the Heaven Gate was opened by the 9 Yang Divine Palace, and they did not allow the Qin Imperial clan to go. The Qin clan king had no choice but to turn around and leave. The 9 Yang Divine Palace joined hands with Tian Daozi and the other Sun altars to seal Qin Yun. This is something that the Qin clan king is very dissatisfied with, because Qin Yun is a member of the Imperial clan and had once contributed greatly to the entire Imperial clan. But now, he has been sealed by the 9 Yang Divine Palace. Within the Great Hall, the 9 Yang Divine Palace and the other clan kings all became silent for a moment. The Imperial clan kings all know what the Qin clan king is angry about. The 9 Yang Divine Palace feels that they did the right thing. Sealing Qin Yun and that Princess Yi is the most correct thing to do. The old man from the 9 Yang Divine Palace said coldly, "No matter how much the Imperial clan owes Qin Yun, he is still a scourge. He must be sealed. If we allow him to continue acting recklessly, it will bring a great disaster to our Imperial clan." When are we going to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range? How we go there? The Imperial Dragon Clan King said, "The Heaven Gate has already been opened. Are we going to go there directly? At that time, we will enter those sun altars. The sun altars will be teleported to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. If the Outer Heaven Realm and the Dark Royal Race want to pass through the Heaven Gate, They will need to enter the Sun Altar. The old man from the Nine-Yang Divine Palace said, "Why do we have to pass through the Sun Altar? Can't we just directly enter the Heaven Gate?" The Shao clan king asked. "The Heaven Gate leads to another space. There is a certain risk. If we directly enter, it is very likely that we will be killed." The old man from the Nine-Yang Divine Palace said, "Only by entering the Sun Altar can we safely pass through." The Imperial Dragon Clan king said, "The Dark Royal race might not pass through us. They have Xieyong." The old man from the Nine-Yang Palace sneered. Xieyong was able to go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range, but that was a long time ago. Now, it won't be so easy. In short, if they want to go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range from the Immortal Desolate, they have to get our approval. If they want to go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range, they have to agree to our conditions. This way, we will have even more authority in the Immortal Desolate land. The news of Qin Yun being sealed has spread throughout the Immortal Desolate. Outer Heaven Domain and Dark Royal Race all know about it. Although they hated Qin Yun very much, they were filled with resentment towards the Nine-Yang Divine Palace after learning that Qin Yun had been sealed. Qin Yun had a very large Divine Universe metal stone and 2 sun souls. Now that they were sealed by the Nine-Yang Divine Palace, wouldn't that mean that they had fallen into the hands of the Nine-Yang Divine Palace? Of course, even though they were dissatisfied, there was nothing they could do, because they were very clear on how powerful the Sun Altar and the Heavenly Altar were. They had no way of breaking through the Heavenly Altar. The Sun Altar belonged to the Nine Sun sect. In the Divine Wilderness, the Nine Sun sect had already pledged allegiance to the Arch race, and the Arch race had a very close relationship with the Nine-Yang Divine Hall. Therefore, the few Sun Altars in the Immortal Desolate also listened to the Nine-Yang Divine Palace's arrangements. The few palace masters of the Guanghan Palace are all very anxious because Qin Yun is sealed inside the Heavenly Law Altar, and now they have to head to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range. Within the Moon Palace, there was a huge mountain that looked like ice jade. There were many caves within it. That mountain really was the Moon God Mountain. In one of the caves, Siekru, who had turned into a little girl, was inside a bright stone room. She was absorbing the faint silver light and cultivating. Yu walked into the cave and gently pushed open the stone room's door. She has a head full of white hair. Her long white braids are hanging in front of her body. Her jade-like beautiful face is filled with worry. "Sister Xiaoro, something happened to Xiao Yun." After Yu entered, she said with a sigh. Siekru and Xian Yinyin were together. Siekru opened her eyes and asked in a tender and sweet voice, "What happened?" Yu informed Siekru of Qin Yun's situation. After Siekru heard this, she frowned and said, "Sai, there are so many variables before entering the Cloud Dragon Mountain range." Yu said, "Then what should we do now? Should we go and save him?" Siekru shook her head and said, "If Xiao Yun can't come out, it would be useless for us to save him. Don't worry, he can come out. Believe in his strength." "Then what about going to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range? The Emperor Race Divine Palace has invited our Guanghan Palace." Yu said, "Is that so? That's a good thing." Siekru is somewhat surprised and said, "Yu agreed to them. We'll discuss the number of people we'll send. Try not to send too many people." Yu thought for a moment and said, "Aren't you going to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range with Xiao Yun?" Siekru shook her head and said, "In short, I'll think of a way to contact Xiao Yun. We have to prepare for both sides. I want to go with Big Sister. Is that okay?" Yu sought Siekru's opinion. She wants to go with Yang Shuriwa. No, Shuriwa wants to stay in the Guanghan Palace. The Guanghan Palace needs someone to guard it. Siekru said, "I suggest that you stay in the Guanghan Palace and let Shuriwa go with us. Also, you can stay here and pay attention to Xiao Yun's situation." Yu thought that Qin Yun is still trapped in the Heavenly Law Altar and wants to stay in the Immortal Desolate. She nodded. "Sister Xiaoro, how many people are going from our Guanghan Palace?" Yu asked. "Me, Yuelon, Little Melian, Sister Shuyin. These are the people I've chosen." Siekru said, "What about Sister Rujing and Bing Xing?" Yu said, "They're all very strong. Bing Xing should stay in the Guanghan Palace. Rujing is the reincarnation of the snow goddess. Bring her along. Remember to make her leave Lingxue in the Guanghan Palace. Xie said. Xian Lingxue is Xian Rujing's avatar. She is staying in the Guanghan Palace just in case. This trip is rather dangerous. We won't send inscription masters. Let Ling Long and the others stay in the Guanghan Palace and guard the Guanghan Palace well. Yu nodded and said. Xie said, Yu go ask those old grannies and choose 5 old grannies to go with us. Yu suddenly thought of something and said, What about Uma? Do you want her to go? If we don't let her go, she will cause a ruckus. Xie said with a light smile. Dealing with Uma is too easy. Just tell her to stay in the Guanghan Palace and wait for Xiao Yun's news. If Xiao Yun comes out of the heavenly law altar, let Xiao Yun bring her to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range. That's true. Yu smiled mischievously. Sister Xiaoro, you are also using Xiao Yun as an excuse to make me obediently stay in the Guanghan Palace. You are really bad. Yu, who told you to be so concerned about Xiao Yun? Xie smiled. Her appearance is extremely cute, causing Yu to be unable to help but pinch her little face. Yu looked at Xian Yinyun, who was cultivating at the side, and asked, Sister Kiru, is Xiao Yinyun going? Xie shook her head and said, She's not going. She's my avatar. That's true. Yu reached out and caressed Xian Yinyun's gentle and beautiful face. Yu, don't worry about Xiao Yun. He will definitely have a way to come out. I will also think of a way to contact him. Xie said. Then I'll go make the arrangements first. Yu felt relieved and left Xie cave residence. After Yu left, Xie took out a bee skin and spread it out on the ground. This bee skin is a part of the immortal graveyard diagram. Xie Xiao Yuelon, Qi Malian, and Qin Yun each have a piece in their hands. When combined, it is complete. Xiao Yun, Xie lightly shouted at the bee's skin. There is a close connection between the immortal graveyard diagram. However, Qin Yun can only contact Xie through the immortal graveyard diagram. He is unable to contact Xiao Yuelon and Qi Malian. Qin Yun is inside the 8th secret room of the Heaven Leaping Shuttle, refining the Dragon Heavenly Rune. He suddenly sensed the fluctuation released by the immortal graveyard diagram and hastily took it out. He heard Xie sweet voice. Sister Kiru. Qin Yun is very happy. Sister Kiru, we finally used the immortal graveyard diagram to communicate. I thought we would never be able to communicate like this again. Using the immortal graveyard diagram to communicate is not good. It's easy to be discovered, Xie said with a charming smile. Xiao Yun, you seem to be in a good mood. It seems like you have a way to escape. Of course. Sister Kiru, don't worry about me. I can think of a way to get out. Qin Yun said very confidently. I knew you could do it. Yu is very worried about you. This usually fierce and ice-cold woman. Her worried appearance is truly lovable. Xie chuckled and said, Is that so? Qin Yun also said with a smile, Sister Kiru, aren't you afraid that Sister you will find out that you are bad-mouthing her behind her back? Xie said with a low laugh. Xiao Yun, I might not be able to go with you to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. The Imperial Race Divine Palace has invited our Guanghan Palace to head to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range together. I know that they created a gate of heaven. Qin Yun shook his head and smiled. We've been searching for the Heaven Leaping Shuttle for so long just to go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. In the end, we didn't even use it. Who said that? The Heaven Leaping Shuttle was very useful. When you come out of the Heavenly Law altar, you will definitely use the Heaven Leaping Shuttle to head to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. Xie said. That's true. Qin Yun nodded. Xiao Yun, after you come out, if you want to bring Yume along, then contact her. If you don't want to, then head straight to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. We will wait for you over there, Xie said with a smile. And I will decide when the time comes. Qin Yun laughed. You don't want to bring Yume? It's better for this girl to follow you. She is very close to you and also listens to you. What's more, I will bring Yuelon. If Yuelon goes, Yu Shaolin will also go. Xie lightly sighed and said, Xiao Yuelon and Yu Shaoling are two female hooligans. If they cooperate, it will be very troublesome. With Xiao Yuanmei, it will be terrible. Qin Yun said with mischievous smile. In that case, Yuanmei is very good by my side. She is very honest. Xiao Yun, if everything goes smoothly, we can gather 9 Nether Sun spirits for you in the Cloud Dragon Mountain range. Siakiru's clear and sweet voice suddenly became grave. Finally gathered? Qin Yun is somewhat amazed. I will have to go there to be sure. Siakiru said. Sister Karu, I met a woman who claims to be the reincarnation of 9 Sun Divine Maiden. She is Princess Enyi. Qin Yun told Siakiru about Princess Enyi. It's her. Xiao Yun. She is trustworthy. You two knew each other before and have deep hatred, but you need to help each other. Siakiru's voice suddenly became low. She hastily said, Not good. I have been sensed. Let's leave it at that. Siakiru cut off the connection. Qin Yun hastily said, Siakiru, how did I meet that woman? What kind of hatred do we have? Siakiru did not reply, leaving behind Qin Yun, who is filled with curiosity, looking at the immortal graveyard diagram in a daze. He did not expect that he and Princess Enyi knew each other before and even had deep hatred. Yet Siakiru said that he is trustworthy and they need to help each other. Chapter 1836. Big Sister returns. Qin Yun wished he could immediately fly to the Guanghan Palace and ask about the deep enmity between him and Princess Anya. That woman and I know each other? She doesn't seem to know. Is it because her memory hasn't fully recovered? Qin Yun is suddenly somewhat worried, because Princess Anya is not someone to be trifled with. She was once the 9 Sun Divine Maiden and has experienced many things. She is definitely a vicious and merciless person. Ling Yin'er said with smile. Xiao Yun, don't think so much. Even if she hates you, you are so handsome, she will definitely let go of her hatred. Great beauty Yin'er, that woman and I have deep enmity. If she suddenly recovers those memories, I will be in trouble. Qin Yun learned that Princess Anya was once acquainted with him and became very restless. It's fine, no matter what she does, she can't kill you. You must know that she is very dependent on you now. Ling Yin'er smiled tenderly and said, She is not stupid. If she kills you, it will not be good for her. Qin Yun nodded and said, That's true. Let's go out first. They're all going to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range. I also have to quickly finish this stronger 9-dragon heavenly origin formation. The 9-dragon heavenly origin formation he made before was mainly made of saint-tier materials. He believed that it would limit the display of Divine Universe Golden Stone. If the main materials were all divine-grade materials, then when he used the Divine Cosmos Goldstone, he would be able to make the Divine Cosmos Goldstone release even stronger Divine Cosmos power. If the Divine Universe power was strong enough, the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation would release even stronger power. The 9-dragon heavenly origin formation that can attack and defend is very important to Qin Yun. It can also protect his life when he is in seclusion. It is equivalent to having a second life. The situation in the Cloud Dragon Mountain range is very complicated. If he had a powerful 9-dragon heavenly origin formation to protect himself, he would be much more at ease while walking in the Cloud Dragon Mountain range. Qin Yun continued refining the Dragon Heavenly Rune. The 9-dragon heavenly origin formation can absorb the Divine Universe Golden Stone's divine power. After transforming and releasing it, it can be easily absorbed for cultivation. Now, the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation is using the Divine Universe Golden Stone's power to refine the Dragon Heavenly Rune. Qin Yun is very much looking forward to the new 9-dragon heavenly origin formation, because this new 9-dragon heavenly origin formation is completely different from the previous one. The 9 dragons heavenly origin array from before was only for practice. Although it was a very successful 9 dragons heavenly origin array, it was still lacking in many aspects. For example, he hadn't considered the materials used to create the dragon heavenly pattern. Therefore, Immortal Desolate Dragon Emperor and Long Yu Qing who were familiar with the Nine Dragons' heavenly origin formation, felt that his Nine Dragons' heavenly origin formation was not very strong. This new Nine Dragon heavenly origin formation will become even stronger when combined with my Nine Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon. At that time, killing a great emperor won't be a problem. Qin Yin said. Of course, he could only fire one shot, because after firing one shot, the barrel would be very hot and would need to cool down for a period of time. If he continued to fight, it was highly likely that it would be damaged. Ling Yun said, your Nine Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon's strongest power should be combined with the Nine Dragons' heavenly origin formation and the Divine Universe Golden Rock to fire a star cannonball. Qin Yun said with a smile. That's right. However, in most situations, there is no need to use Divine Universe Golden Stone. At most, the Nine Dragons' heavenly origin formation combined with the star cannonballs will be very powerful. Xiao Yun, it is very difficult to solve the problem of fever. If we can solve it, we will be truly unparalleled. Ling Yun said with charming smile. It is not that there is no solution. Qin Yin heard Ling Yun's charming and sweet laughter and realized that she is thinking of some naughty things. There has always been a solution to solve the problem of fever. It requires Snow Goddess Totem. Xian Rujing is Snow Goddess. She also said that she would give her God Position Totem to Qin Yun, but she is not ready yet. Because those Divine Position Totems are inside her body. When they appear, Qin Yun needs to carefully observe them to be able to record them. This process is very hard for Xian Rujing to accept. That is why she said she is not ready yet. Qin Yun and Xian Rujing's relationship is very deep, but they have not taken it a step further. This kind of matter cannot be forced, otherwise it would only make things very unpleasant. Xiao Yun, find Sister Rujing and make her follow you. Ling Yun said with smile. I miss her very much. This snow goddess is as coquettish as Big Sister Star God and Sister Shuyan. Don't talk about it. I will think of another way. I can find a better ice attribute totem or rune to suppress the fever problem. It is not necessarily Snow Goddess Totem. Qin Yun said. Ling Yun said with smile. Snow Goddess Totem is a God-tier ice attribute totem. Nine Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon is a God-tier material, but the fever problem is still not solved. Do you think other ice attribute totems and runes are better than Snow Goddess Totem? Of course not, but it is not necessarily Snow Goddess Totem. Qin Yun is not forcing Xian Rujing. Although he used Dragon Claw Hand on Xian Rujing, he has never had any other thoughts about her. On the contrary, Ling Yun Xiao Yuelon and other female hoodlums often have bad thoughts about Xian Rujing. That is truly regretful. Ling Yun is very disappointed. She let out a long sigh and said, You blockhead. 5 days passed by. The matter of heaven sacrifice has caused an uproar. The entire Immortal Desolate is crazily discussing this matter these past few days. This is a heaven sacrifice ceremony made by several sun altars and the mysterious heavenly law altar. It is said that Divine Desolate instructed 9 sun sects to do this. And at the same time as the heaven sacrifice ceremony, Qin Yun is also sealed inside. Qin Yun, who fought against the Outer Heaven Domain people and caused the Alliance army to suffer great losses, is now being secretly sealed by a group of people. Many people in Immortal Desolate are feeling indignant because Qin Yun caused the Outer Heaven Domain to suffer great losses. He killed the Alliance army's drilling dogs. This is an event for the entire Immortal Desolate. In their eyes, Qin Yun is a heroic character, but now he is sealed. The group of people who sealed Qin Yun are from 9 Sun Divine Palace and 9 Sun sects. They all have close relationship with Imperial race. Qin Yun is an Imperial race person, but he is sealed. This is something that many people cannot understand. And some people think that this group of people want to monopolize Qin Yun's Divine Universe Golden Stone, as well as the good things on Qin Yun's body. Everyone knows that Qin Yun is a human-shaped treasure trove. He possesses all kinds of treasures that people can only dream of. After returning to the Divine Inscription Mountain, the little black donkey looked at the magic mirror, looked at the calm-down ceremony and sighed. Boss has been sealed to death. Sigh, the heavens do not allow such an awesome person to exist in the Nine Desolate. So they sealed him. Hey Shu, by Zay, Azure Dragon, Water, Heavenly Rune Dragon, and Fire, Heavenly Rune Dragon all returned to the divine inscription mountain. They did not find any more powerful inscription beasts, but they brought back Old Fox Huang and Xian Tiger King. They are all Qin Yun's friends. Old Fox Huang, that old fox, has become even stronger during this period of time. He has a powerful mental power. Xian Tiger King brought some cute little monkeys with him. They are in charge of scouting the situation and paying attention to their surroundings. The mountain god said, "Boss is not here. The opening of the heavenly gate has nothing to do with our divine inscription mountain. Old mountain, doesn't the divine inscription mountain have a very strong spatial ability? Create a spatial passageway and save boss." Lu Jiayin said, "No, I can't get close to that place right now." Immortal Emperor Magic Mirror said that during this period of time, there are often people inquiring about the situation of the divine inscription mountain on the Magic Mirror platform. It's the group of grass turtles that sealed boss. Mountain God cursed in low voice. Our divine inscription mountain has been targeted by those guys. The little black donkey is very angry and said, "Old mountain, we should face them head on, throw caution to the wind, and fight them to the death. Let them release boss." Azure Dragon nodded and said, "I agree with Xiao Xian's method." Hey Shu by Zay also nodded in agreement. The mountain god looked at Xiao Hua and said, "Old Xiao, Big Sister and Boss are not here. You are also in charge of the inscription gate. If you agree to face them head on, then we will face them head on." Xiao Hua pondered for a moment and shook his head. "No, it's not like Big Sister can't come back. She is in closed-door cultivation in the Guanghan Palace. Let's wait for Big Sister. Big Sister's network is also very wide. If we want to deal with those turtles, we also have enough manpower. Who can Big Sister call for help?" The little black donkey asked curiously. "There are a lot of people. Big Sister knows almost all the friends that Boss knows. She can also call them," Xiao Hua said with a smile. In short, Big Sister must have a good idea. While they were discussing, Xiao Yuanmei suddenly arrived. She directly used a very strong teleportation magic tool to teleport in. That is something that Xiao Hua and others have jointly refined for her. Xiao Yuanmei is wearing a black soft armor. Her hair is tied up in a high ponytail. "Big Sister, we were just talking about you, and you came," Xiao Hua said with a smile. "What are you talking about?" Xiao Yuanmei asked with gentle smile. "We are talking about how powerful you are and how you can lead us to conquer the world," the little black donkey said with a smile. "Xiao Xian, your mouth is getting sweeter and sweeter," Xiao Yuanmei said with charming smile and stroked the little black donkey's head. Xiao Hua said in grave tone, "Big Sister, you should know about the matter of boss being sealed, right? We're discussing whether or not we should face them head on." Azure Dragon, Heishubai Zay, and the others nodded their heads. They all expressed that as long as she gives the order, they will not be afraid at all. They will attack head on and rescue the inscription gate's sect master. Mountain God said, "Big Sister, you only need to say a word. We are not afraid of death anyways." Xiao Yuanmei's heart is filled with heroic spirit. She said with heroic smile, "Fellow sect members, you all have this kind of heart. Sect Master will be very happy. I think everyone here." "Big Sister, don't say such words. You know our feelings for the inscription gate better than us." Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror waved his hand and said, "Give us an idea. We must save Boss." Xiao Yuanmei said with a smile, "Boss can come out by himself. He doesn't need us to save him. Who is my brother? You want to trap me with a mere broken altar? Let me tell you, those broken altars will be destroyed by my brother sooner or later." Chapter 1837. Jiang Palace. After Xiao Yuanmei came out of seclusion, Siekaru told her to wait here for Qingyun and bring her to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. Xiao Yuanmei blindly believes in Qingyun, so she has no doubt that Qingyun can come out on his own. "Yeah, he used a very miraculous method to contact me. In short, he will be able to come out and bring me to the Cloud Dragon mountain range. Xiao Yuanmei laughed. At that time, we might all be able to go to the Cloud Dragon mountain range. The little black donkey laughed heartily. Boss is awesome. Those people who sealed him will regret it sooner or later. Let them seal boss. Ha! Immortal Emperor Demonic Mirror heaved a sigh of relief and smiled. That's not bad. We don't have to face them head-on for now. Xiao Yuanmei coldly groaned and said, My brother is a great hero of Immortal Desolate. He beat up Xieyang, repelled the Alliance army and Outer Heaven Domain's enemies. He also suppressed the Sun Spirit race from stirring up trouble. Not long ago, he used his Supreme Inscription technique to defeat the Alien Dragon race and the Alliance army who humiliated the Immortal Desolate land. But those bastards sealed him up. As for those pigs, we don't have to face them head-on. We have to attack from behind. Let's set them up in the dark. I agree. Old Fox Huang laughed. Many people seem to have forgotten that Boss is the sect master of the Inscription Gate. With the sect leader sealed, the Inscription Gate has to do something. That's right. Those turtles think that they're invincible just because they made a heaven offering ceremony. They sealed our sect master. We will let them experience the power of Inscription Gate. Mountain God said. Xiao Yuanmei said, Old Sean, go pick the sacred mysterious silver crystal fruits and store them in the energy warehouse. Little Black, Little White, go and check on the 9 dragon head cannons. Make sure they can operate stably during the battle. Azure Dragon, Fire Dragon, Water Dragon, you're in charge of releasing your dragon heavenly patterns and absorbing the energy of the Saint Mysterious Silver Crystal into your bodies. Through the dragon heavenly patterns, you'll convert it into stronger dragon rune saint energy and strengthen the dragon head cannon. Now, familiarize yourselves with this process. Little Xian, go check the Black Tortoise Formation. This is the defensive formation of our divine Inscription Mountain. It is also the most important one. At that time, you will be in charge of this grand array. Old Xiao, Little Ding, you are responsible for collecting information about the movements of that group of people. We need to know what they are doing and where they are. Xiao Yuanmei is after all the big sister. She has a very good understanding of the entire Inscription Divine Mountain. She also knows what kind of preparations the Inscription Divine Mountain needs to make if they want to launch an all-out attack. The others immediately went to prepare to attack. They were also very excited. Big sis, do you want to call for help? Lu Jian asked. Not at the moment. Those who are not arranged to stay on the Divine Inscription Mountain and help the old mountain pick the fruits. The sacred mysterious silver crystal fruit is energy. When we fight, we will need a large amount of energy. Xiao Yuanmei said. Old Fox Huang, Mystic Tiger King, and the others also went to help. If Xiao Yuanmei were to call for help, she would definitely be able to do so. However, she felt that the power of the Divine Inscription Mountain was enough to teach the group of people who plotted to seal Qinyan a lesson. If he really couldn't win, it wouldn't be too late to call for help. Xiao Yuanmei is also using her mirror to make teleportation talismans, as well as talismans to suppress soul poison saint insects. These talismans must be sold, because now only Inscription Gate can make talismans to resist soul poison saint insects. She wants to let everyone in the Immortal Desolate know how powerful Inscription Gate is. In just half a day, Xiao Hua and Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror have news. Within the space inside the Divine Inscription Mountain, on the spacious prairie, Xiao Yuanmei is sitting on a chair, looking at a very large magic mirror to understand the movement of Immortal Desolate. Xiao Hua said, Big sis, the nest of those grass turtles is indeed not in the Emperor Race Divine Palace. They have their own territory. I knew that those guys also have their own territory. They're a group of very arrogant people. How can they stay in the Emperor Race Divine Palace for a long time? Xiao Yuanmei coldly groaned and said, At the beginning, there were only 50 of them. But after the heaven offering ceremony opened the heavenly gate, several hundred people rushed over from the outer heaven domain. Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror said, Where are they? Xiao Yuanmei asked. They also have a flying island floating in the sky. There's a very large palace on the island. It is called Nine Sun Palace. Reportedly, that Nine Sun Palace came from the outer heaven domain through space travel. Xiao Hua said, Nine Sun Palace? Xiao Yuanmei laughed sinisterly. That is our target. After we are ready, we will inform Old Mountain of their location. Then we will sneak over and secretly ambush them. Xiao Hua said with mischievous smile. We will continue to understand the situation of Nine Sun Palace. Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror said with smile. Those Nine Sun Palace fellows feel that the area around the heavenly crater is filled with foul air, so their flying island is far away from the heavenly crater and the Emperor Race Divine Palace. Even if the Emperor Race were to send reinforcements, they would not be able to make it in time. Xiao Hua asked, Big Sis, are we going to act during the day or at night? To ambush them, of course we have to choose a dark and windy night. Xiao Yuanmei said, Once we are ready, we will immediately act. It is not a secret that those people are on the Nine Sun Palace on a flying island. Because they need peace and quiet, they don't allow anyone to approach the flying island. If they approach and are discovered by the flying island, they will be attacked. Because of this, many people can only look at the flying island and the Nine Sun Palace from far away. 2 days after Xiao Yuanmei returned to the Divine Inscription Mountain, a great movement suddenly appeared on the sky above the Heavenly Law Altar. Incomparably powerful heavenly thunder crazily dropped down and ferociously bombarded the Heavenly Law Altar. This matter quickly spread throughout the entire Immortal Desolate. These days, everyone has been paying close attention to the Heavenly Law Altar, mainly because there is a heavenly gate above the Heavenly Law Altar. The heavenly gate has been open for a long time, but now, berserk heavenly thunder crazily bombarded the Heavenly Law Altar. Qin Yun refined a dragon heavenly rune inside the Heavenly Law Altar. Moreover, it is a very strong dragon heavenly rune. It absorbed divine cosmos power to refine it. Therefore, it triggered an even stronger heavenly punishment. Fortunately, he is inside the Heavenly Law Altar, so he can avoid the heavenly punishment. Tian Dao Zi inside the Heavenly Law Altar very angrily shouted, De Zhuang, what did your boss do to provoke the wrath of the heavenly might again? The heavenly punishment outside is very strong. Don't you know? Really? That's great. Boss is really awesome. He can trigger a very strong heavenly punishment just by hiding inside. Shimen de Zhuang became very happy hearing this. He said with smile, Master, it seems like Boss is deliberately hiding inside the Heavenly Law Altar to refine some heaven-defying playthings. Ha ha ha! Tian Dao Zi is very unhappy. He controlled the Heavenly Law Altar to move. The Heavenly Law Altar's movement does not affect the Heavenly Gate. It is just to prevent the heavenly punishment from affecting the Heavenly Gate and the surrounding altars. Everyone doesn't know what is going on inside the Heavenly Law Altar. However, some people recalled that when Qin Yun's heaven-leaping shuttle was in the 10,000 Snake Mountain range, it triggered a very strong heavenly punishment and killed many Outer Heaven Domain people. Therefore, some people speculated that Qin Yun is deliberately triggering the heavenly punishment to escape from the heavenly punishment. After hearing this news, Xiao Yuanmei realized that Qin Yun is staying inside the Heavenly Law Altar to refine some heaven-defying playthings to avoid the heavenly punishment. The heavenly punishment actually lasted for an entire day. The Heavenly Law Altar can't be destroyed by the might of the heavenly punishment, so it is completely fine. Only Tian Dao Zi's soul is jumping up and down anxiously inside the Heavenly Law Altar because he can't bear the fact that the person triggering the heavenly punishment is hiding inside the Heavenly Law Altar. Nighttime, the moon in the sky is very big and very round. After the moon changed, a very big barrier appeared. The barrier turned into a very big virtual image of the moon and protected the real moon. Therefore, after nighttime, the Immortal Desolate's heaven and earth became very bright. Adding the stars and nebulas in the night sky, the clear night sky is very bright. The divine inscription mountain became very small. It became as big as a small hill. It turned into a stone turtle and slowly arrived below a flying island. Big sister, the night is very bright. Is it convenient to attack? Old Sean said, didn't you say that the night is dark and the wind is strong? Relax, it won't be a problem. Xiao Yueme said with smile. Prepare to store power. We will use the strongest power to fire 3 cannon shots at the Sky Island and then decisively leave. Xiao Hua said, Big sister, there is no barrier on the flying island and no one is looking around. I think we can start now. Xiao Yueme sat on a chair and yelled, Old Sean, is the energy ready? Mountain God said with smile, Yes. Xiao Yueme yelled again, Xiao Xian, is the Black Tortoise Great Formation ready? We need to defend at any time. Little Black Donkey yelled, It is ready. The Black Tortoise Great Formation is connected to me. It can be activated at any time. Its defense is absolutely formidable. In the Immortal Desolate, its defense is unparalleled. All right, Water Dragon ready. Fire. Xiao Yueme yelled. The divine inscription mountain suddenly became bigger. An incomparably huge dragon head cannon appeared on the turtle's back. It is a dragon head cannon controlled by a water dragon. The dragon head cannon shot out a very strong artillery shell. It looks like liquid and shot towards the flying island from below. There was a loud bang. The energy-transformed artillery shell pierced through the entire flying island and exploded a large amount of water in the sky. The water completely enveloped the flying island. Azure Dragon, Thunder, and Lightning attack. Xiao Yueme very excitedly yelled. Azure Dragon's artillery shell is filled with violent thunder and lightning. It is formed from a large amount of sacred Xian silver crystals. Suddenly, the heaven and earth trembled with violent thunder and lightning. It seems like the earth and sky are about to be torn apart. Another large hole appeared on the flying island. The violent thunder and lightning enveloped the entire flying island. Many old men can be heard furiously shouting. The Nine Sun Palace on the flying island has also been severely damaged. It must be said that the Nine Sun Palace people still have some strength. Very soon they dispersed the violent thunder and lightning and shook off the water. Hualong, fire the last one. Xiao Yueme yelled. Hualong controlled his dragon head cannon to fire. It shot towards the sky from below and blasted through the flying island, creating a third large hole. Moreover, flames burst out. The sea of flames invaded the tattered Nine Sun Palace in a split second. Chapter 1838. Weapon Formation. The flying island where the Nanyang Palace is located is not small. At this moment, there are 3 large holes in it. Furthermore, the Nanyang Palace on the flying island has also been burned by the fire. More than half of the buildings are severely damaged. Many people are seriously injured, and they are screaming, causing the entire Nanyang Palace to wail in pain. Many of the elders are cursing angrily scolding the enemy who attacked them. The Nanyang Palace is the place where the Nanyang sects and the group of people from the Nanyang Divine Palace are gathered. It can be considered a very powerful force in the Immortal Desolate. Now, the Nanyang Palace has been smashed into smithereens. This is a great humiliation to them. Although no one died, many were injured. Most importantly, it was obvious that they were deliberately provoking them. One must know that the Nanyang Palace is the power that opened the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range's heavenly gate. In the Immortal Desolate, many great powers have to give them face. Even the Dark Royal Family and the Alien Dragon race from the Outer Heaven Domain and the Alliance Army have to make some exchanges with the Nanyang Palace and listen to their arrangements in order to enter the Heavenly Gate. And now, the Nanyang Palace has been smashed into smithereens. Such a provocation caused the entire Immortal Desolate to bustle with noise and excitement. Many people used the magic mirror to learn more about the situation. There are many people near the Nanyang Palace, so when they saw this, they immediately transmitted the situation to the magic mirror. The powerful immortal emperors of the Nanyang Palace are not to be trifled with. After their Nanyang Palace was attacked, they quickly determined the location of the Divine Inscription Mountain. The Divine Inscription Mountain is in the middle of a very strong defense. Just as the little black donkey activated the Black Tortoise formation, several powerful immortal emperor powers came crashing down. In the darkness of the night, the Divine Inscription Mountain that is crawling on the ground was struck by several powerful immortal emperor powers. All kinds of explosions sounded out continuously. The ground emitted multicolored light, causing the surroundings to emit a dazzling light. Which scoundrel dares to sneak attack my Nanyang Palace? An old man angrily rebuked. Nanyang Palace's grass turtles, listen carefully. You sealed our sect master. We will settle this debt with you. This is just the foreplay. Xiao Yuamei's clear and cold voice is rather imposing. It spread in all directions. Inscription Gate. The onlookers in the distance were shocked. No one is unfamiliar with the Inscription Gate because it is the sect founded by Qin Yin. It is a very powerful sect that once defeated Xieyang. The Divine Inscription Mountain, where the Inscription Gate is located, is a strange mountain that could devour all kinds of things. Previously, it often ran amok in the Immortal Desolate, devouring everything. Now that Qin Yin was sealed, it was indeed normal for the disciples of the Inscription Gate to counterattack the Nanyang Palace. However, no one expected that even without Qin Yin, the Inscription Gate would still be so terrifying. It was able to cause the Nanyang Palace to suffer such heavy losses. The people from the Nanyang Palace naturally knew of this Inscription Gate. The Inscription Gate is located in the Divine Inscription Mountain. The Inscription Gate and the Divine Inscription Mountain are both very mysterious existences. The people of the Immortal Desolate only know that it is a sect created by Qin Yin. Moreover, the Divine Inscription Mountain was extremely powerful. It had all kinds of powerful offensive and defensive formations. Previously, it had summoned a large number of stars and almost overturned the Immortal Emperor City. After Qin Yin was sealed, the attack launched by the Inscription Gate on the Nanyang Palace was extremely terrifying. Inscription Gate, just wait to be annihilated, an old man roared. Suddenly, intense spatial fluctuations came from all around the sky. Huge warships suddenly appeared one after another. They were all warships from the alien dragon race and the Alliance Army. They had also found out through the magic mirror that Qin Yun's Divine Inscription Mountain was here, so they had all rushed over. The Divine Inscription Mountain had all kinds of powerful and rare runes, so they all wanted to break through this kind of Divine Inscription Mountain and enter the Inscription Gate to see what kind of runes were inside. The defense is good. Let's go. The little black donkey said. The Black Tortoise formation of the Divine Inscription Mountain frantically absorbed the energy of the sacred mysterious silver crystal, producing a very strong defensive shield. The powerful immortal emperors of the Nanyang Palace were unable to break through the defensive shield. In this way, the Divine Inscription Mountain could travel through space with peace of mind. Let's go. The mountain god laughed. The Divine Inscription Mountain suddenly shrank and began to travel through space. In the blink of an eye, the Divine Inscription Mountain disappeared. Damn it, this ghost mountain's spatial teleportation ability is very strong. Just like that damned heaven-leaping shuttle. The people from the Alliance Army cursed in a low voice. Qin Yun's heaven-leaping shuttle also appeared and disappeared like a ghost. The Divine Inscription Mountain swallowed a large amount of instant space iron, so it possessed this kind of ability. This was what gave those great powers the biggest headache, because if they used a sneak attack, it would be impossible to guard against. The Nanyang Palace was too careless and overconfident. They thought that if they opened the gate of heaven, the various powers in the Immortal Desolate would respect them and not attack them. Therefore, they did not carry out any defense. They never expected that Qin Yun's Inscription Gate would suddenly appear and mess with them from behind, causing them to lose all face. Only Qin Yun's friends knew that the Inscription Gate was extremely terrifying. Even though Qin Yun was sealed, the Divine Inscription Mountain was still a powerful existence that dominated an area. Previously, the Divine Inscription Mountain devoured the divine mountains of those evil powers, causing those evil powers to complain to the heavens. If the Nine-Yang Palace was targeted by the Inscription Gate, if their defense was not enough, they would be killed by the Inscription Gate sooner or later. The flying island was pierced through, and there were 3 large holes. At night, the Nine-Yang Palace called for many helpers. They mainly came from the Imperial and Dark Royal races. Even the Outer Heaven Domain's Alliance Army and the Strange Dragon race escorted the flying island to the Gate of Heaven. Below the Gate of Heaven, there are several sun altars. If the flying island flew over, they would have to rely on the protection of the sun altars. This way, they would have sufficient defense. As for the Heavenly Law altar, it is also running around everywhere. Many people can only follow the Heavenly Law altar from afar, because Qin Yun, who is inside the Heavenly Law altar, can trigger a very terrifying heavenly punishment. If they approach the Heavenly Law altar, it is very likely that they will be sensed by the heavenly punishment. Qin Yun, who is inside the Heavenly Law altar, seems to be retaliating. An Inscription Gate's attack on the Nine-Yang Palace is clearly revenge. This immediately caused many people to be deeply worried, especially those big powers who are afraid of Qin Yun. They are afraid that Qin Yun will also go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range. Qin Yun has many methods. He is a very strong inscription master and has mastered many kinds of treasures. If he were to enter the Cloud Dragon Mountain range, there is an extremely high chance that the good things inside will be obtained by him. Therefore, sealing Qin Yun is something that many big powers agree with. And Qin Yun's friends all know that Qin Yun will definitely be able to go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range, so there's no need to worry. In the sky above the Nine-Yang Palace, a large group of people from the Nine-Yang Palace are floating. All of their faces are filled with anger as they look down at the Nine-Yang Palace that has been burnt to ruins. It would be best if we quickly head to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range and close the Gate of Heaven. The person who spoke is the immortal, desolate Great Emperor. That's right. If Qin Yun really runs out, or if the Inscription Gate causes trouble, it will be detrimental to us. The Devil Immortal Great Emperor said, as long as we head to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range and temporarily close the Gate of Heaven, Qin Yun and the Inscription Gate won't be able to do anything to us. All right, 3 days later, gather the people from the various sects and families and head to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range together. The old man from the Nine-Yang Palace said. The Nine-Yang Palace did not let people pass through the Gate of Heaven to head to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range for free. They received many benefits, mainly sun god crystals. During this period of time, the various major powers found many sun god crystals in the Immortal Desolate, and they have now given them to the Nine-Yang Palace. 3 days passed, and the few sun altars suddenly flew into the Gate of Heaven in the sky. The people selected by the various major powers all entered the sun altars and headed to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range together. Xiao Yueme looked at the magic mirror and said somewhat unhappily, "Wait for brother to come out. We can also go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range." Qin Yun is inside the Heavenly Law altar, quickly refining the Dragon Heavenly Rune. He is familiar with using the 9-Dragon Heavenly Origin Formation and the Divine Universe Golden Stone to refine the Dragon Heavenly Rune. The speed is becoming faster and faster. Therefore, during this period of time, the Heavenly Law altar has been continuously suffering from heavenly punishment and all kinds of berserk heavenly thunder attacks. Inside the Heavenly Law altar, Tian Dao Zi's soul is extremely angry and constantly wailed in grief. As for Shimon Zhuang, he made Pippi Pig continuously fart, making Tian Dao Zi feel even more uncomfortable. Qin Yun doesn't know what is going on outside. He is somewhat worried because the immortal graveyard of the Cloud Dragon Mountain range is very important to him. Xiaoyan, don't worry. With Sister Kiru and the others, as well as your father and foster father, there won't be any problems. Ling Yuner said, "That's true. I need to calm down and make an even stronger 9-Dragon Heavenly Origin Formation." Qin Yun took a deep breath and said with nod, "An even stronger 9-Dragon Heavenly Origin Formation will allow him to be even more stable and stronger in the Cloud Dragon Mountain range." It took more than a month to refine the 9-Dragon Heavenly Origin Formation. Although he used the nine-dragon heavenly origin formation and divine universe golden stone to refine the nine-dragon heavenly rune this time, the speed is not much different from before. It will take about a month to finish. Qin Yun said, I wonder if they went to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range or not. The Nanyang Palace has been at the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range for more than 20 days. If Qin Yun knew, he would definitely be even more anxious. This time he is not making formation steel. Great formations include flag formation, tablet formation, beeskin formation, star formation, and so on. And the strongest formation is the weapon formation. Qin Yun now plans to refine 9 divine sabers. Not only can he set up the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation, he can also fuse them into a very strong weapon. I will also add the Nether Spirit's Sacred Blade. Qin Yun took out the Nether Spirit's Sacred Blade and said, this Nether Spirit's Sacred Blade is also a very strong saber. If I add the dragon heavenly rune and carve the dragon totem, it will become even stronger. Princess Anya helped a lot because her heavenly flame divine fan can make the flame even stronger, so it can smelt divine tier materials even faster and better. Qin Yun will now burn the Nether Spirit's Sacred Blade red, add some divine tier materials, and awaken the 9-sun divine hammer to forge it. In this way, he very quickly finished refining a saber. And next, he still needs to make 8 more. Princess Anya can see that the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation Qin Yun is making this time is in the form of a weapon formation. She said, Qin Yun, next time you help me make the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation, can you make it into 9 swords? Of course. Qin Yun said with smile, let's talk about it after I make the weapon formation. I don't know how powerful it is. Chapter 1839. Double 9 Dragons Princess Anya originally thought that the 9 Dragons heavenly origin formation made by the formation steel was powerful enough. When Qin Yun was the masked man, the 9 Dragons heavenly origin formation had shocked many people. But now that she had seen the 9 Dragons heaven origin formation in the form of a weapon formation, she was inspired to create a 9 Dragons heaven origin formation in the form of a sword formation. It should be very strong, but as for the specifics, we will only know after it is completed. Qin Yun said, Qin Yun, don't worry. As long as you help me make a 9 Dragons heavenly origin formation, the reward I will give you will not be worse than the Dragon Clan. Princess Anya said. She was worried that Qin Yun would create a 9 Dragons heaven origin formation to fool her, so she hoped that Qin Yun would be more serious and meticulous when creating the 9 Dragons heaven origin formation for her. Because the 9 Dragon heavenly origin formation Qin Yun gave to the dragon race is not the best, it can only be considered as Qin Yun's practice. Of course, even if Qin Yun casually made a 9 Dragon heavenly origin formation, it would still be very strong, and only he can make it. Qin Yun began forging the second saber and said with a smile, I know, Princess, you are quite kind to me, but you must remember what you promised me. I promised to help you cultivate the heart of the sun, and I promised you a condition. I remember all of that. Princess Anya said, if you're not in a hurry to go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range, I can start to help you cultivate the powerful heart of the sun now. Yeah. I am in a hurry to complete the 9 Dragon heavenly origin formation, then leave the heavenly law altar and go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. I really don't have much time. Qin Yun sighed. Don't worry, if I go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range, my memories will be completely restored and I can help you cultivate the sun's core. That will definitely be better. Princess Dark Knight said, I'm just afraid that you'll have other things to do when the time comes, and then you'll forget about these things. Qin Yun shook his head and smiled. He was worried that Princess Anya would fight with him after she fully recovered her memory. Siekaru had said before that he and Princess Anya had a deep hatred. As for what was going on, Qin Yun had yet to figure it out. However, he was very worried. Humph, don't think of me as someone who goes back on his word. Princess Anya said, although I still owe you, as long as I'm alive, I will definitely pay you back. Princess Anya could see that Qin Yun did not trust her very much. He was always worried that she would stand him up. Qin Yun forged the saber and put it in the furnace to burn. He let Princess Dark Night fan the fire. Without the heavenly fire divine fan to strengthen the flame, Qin Yun's progress would definitely be several times slower. Looking at Princess Anya's help, Qin Yun will certainly help her make a 9-dragon heavenly origin formation. However, it won't be possible in the near future. Moreover, he doesn't have enough Gemini heavenly rune in his hands. Zi Qingsheng, Shui Tianzi, and Long Tianji have already returned to the 9-sun divine soul. Shimin Qinglian originally did not want to go, but it was too boring outside, so she could only go in. After all, to a female hoodlum like her, being able to be together with a few beautiful women was a very good enjoyment. Shimin Dazhuang was full of energy. He was happily cursing Tian Daozi outside. When Tian Daozi sensed that there were no more heavenly punishment, he felt a lot more at ease. He was quite worried that the heavenly altar would be destroyed by the heavenly punishment, because the heavenly punishment attracted by Qin Yun is getting stronger and stronger. Qin Yun doesn't know how strong the heavenly punishment is inside the heavenly law altar. If he knew, he would have discovered that every time he refines a dragon heavenly rune, the heavenly punishment's power would increase by a large margin. In other words, the next time he refines a dragon heavenly rune, the heavenly punishment will become even stronger. Therefore, Tian Daozi is very worried that the heavenly law altar won't be able to withstand the heavenly punishment. Qin Yun spent nearly a month to finally refine 9 formation sabers that can be big or small. These sabers look very simple. The blade is very big, the back of the saber is very thick, and there's a dragon head at the end of the hilt. The hilt of the saber looks like it is coiled up by a beautiful golden dragon. As the saber becomes bigger, the dragon head also becomes bigger and more powerful. Qin Yun controlled the 9 sabers to slowly revolve around him, completely surrounding him. There's a dragon heavenly rune inside each saber, and dragon totem is carved on the surface of the saber. 9 dragon heavenly rune and 9 dragon totem, as well as a large number of star runes, converged into a formidable 9-dragon heavenly origin formation. This 9-dragon heavenly origin formation is also the most ideal one in Qin Yun's heart. Very good. Princess Anya is incomparably envious. She very much wants to have her own 9-dragon heavenly origin formation. What do you want your sword to look like? Qin Yun said with a smile. You can think about the shape now. The sword blade is a bit big. I prefer heavy swords. Princess Anya has already thought about it. She somewhat excitedly said, the hilt of the sword will be the same as your saber hilt. The blade will have a dragon totem carved on it. Qin Yun said, inside these sabers, there's a very large storage space. I used the previous 9 heavenly steels to store sacred mysterious silver crystals. In these sabers, I will put some stars inside. Good stars can be used as energy source. He had taken many good stars from the Grand Star formation. Of course, those stars are not good enough. In his eyes, the best stars are the energy sources inside the Alliance Army's largest battleships. He doesn't have many of these energy sources, only 2. Can it be replaced with Sun Divine Crystal? Princess Anya said, the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation can allow you to quickly absorb the energy of the Divine Universe Golden Stone. It can also allow people to quickly absorb the divine power inside the Sun Divine Crystal. Qin Yun nodded and said, if there are enough Sun Divine Crystals, it is indeed possible. Although I have more than 10, I am reluctant to use them. He obtained a lot of stars before, so he planned to use them up first. We have been sealed inside the heavenly law altar for 2 months. Princess Anya looked around and said, can you really get out? Shimin Dazhuang is still outside. Qin Yun controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle and brought Shimin Dazhuang and Pippi inside. Boss, I still haven't scolded enough. Shimin Dazhuang curled his lips and said, quickly let me out. I want to curse Master's soul to death. Qin Yun said with a smile, all right, you continue to stay in the heavenly law altar. I will go out first. Pippi Pig, are you coming with me? Follow, hurry up and go. Pippi Pig shouted excitedly. Huh, boss, are we finally going to leave? Shimin Dazhuang laughed in high spirits and said, Then let's hurry up and leave. Speaking of which, if we go out, Master will be so angry that his soul will fly away and scatter. Tian Daozi thinks that he can seal Princess Anya because in his eyes, these two are great enemies of the heavenly Tao. If Qin Yun and Princess Anya go out, Tian Daozi won't even be able to vomit blood. Qin Yun took out a box. The box is placed on the ground because it is too heavy. 9 dazzling and dazzling large sabers suddenly appeared inside the control room. These dragon rune heavenly sabers have now become very big. They are all 2 to 3 meters tall. The scabbard was made from the eggshell of the dragon egg, and the blade holder on which the sword was placed was also made from the materials of the dragon egg. In this way, when he used the divine universe golden rock, he wouldn't release its energy waves. I don't know if this method will work. I hope so. Qin Yun plans to use the power of divine universe golden stone to activate the heaven leaping shuttle. The reason why they were sealed inside the heavenly law altar is mainly because the heavenly law altar has a very strong space barrier. The heaven leaping shuttle can shuttle back and forth between many powerful spaces. In theory, no space barrier can seal it. The reason why the heaven leaping shuttle cannot shuttle back and forth is because its energy is not strong enough. The 9 dragon divine universe power released by the divine universe golden stone through the 9 dragon heavenly origin formation must be very strong. As for whether or not the heaven leaping shuttle can successfully shuttle through space and leave the heavenly law altar, Qin Yun is not sure. If it doesn't work, he can only use another method. Princess Anya very seriously looked at the 9 dragon heavenly origin formation. She is the reincarnation of 9 sun goddess. She has a portion of her memories, so she has seen those formidable 9 dragon heavenly origin formation. Now, she wants to see if there is any difference between Qin Yun's 9 dragon heavenly origin formation and those ancient 9 dragon heavenly origin formation. Qin Yun opened the box, and the divine universe golden stone floated up. The 9 faces of the divine universe golden stone flickered with different light rays. One after another, the light rays shot out and entered the dragon heavenly rune in the middle of the saber. The 9 dragon heavenly origin formation began operating and absorbing the divine universe golden stone's power. The divine universe power burst out. Qin Yun controlled the heaven leaping shuttle to absorb the berserk 9 dragon divine universe power. Shimenda Zhuang is dumbstruck. He naturally knows what Qin Yun is doing. He is releasing the true power of the divine universe golden stone. As a member of Shimen family, Shimenda Zhuang is very familiar with the divine universe golden stone. Boss, can we really go out? Although Shimenda Zhuang asked this question, he is sure that they will be able to go out. The heaven leaping shuttle is absorbing energy and storing up power. After a while, Qin Yun controlled the heaven leaping shuttle and released space power. This time space shuttle is different, so it won't be successful in an instant. The heaven leaping shuttle condensed the 9 dragon divine universe power, used all kinds of space runes and totems to form a great formation and shot forward, using formidable space power to tear space crack. Tian Daozi's soul cried out in fear. What are you doing? You want to go out? This is impossible. This is the heavenly law altar. I have activated the heaven forbidden space. It is impossible for you to go out. The heaven leaping shuttle is tearing space crack. But as soon as Tian Daozi shouted, the space crack suddenly closed up. Damn it, Qin Yun cursed. That old bastard. Princess Anya saw the space crack being torn open. She thought that they would be able to go out immediately, but in the blink of an eye, the crack closed up again. She cannot help but curse in anger. Huh, you won't be able to go out. Tian Daozi laughed loudly and said, I must go out. Qin Yun waved his hand and released 9 dragon rune heavenly steel. Double 9 dragon heavenly origin formation. Princess Anya immediately became excited because, according to her memory, there is no record of double 9 dragon heavenly origin formation operating. Chapter 1840. Hunting worship. Although the Nine Dragons Heavenly Origins Array formed by the Dragon Pattern Divine Steel was the first Nine Dragons Heavenly Origins Array that Qin Yun had created. It was equally powerful. It could similarly absorb and transform the powers of the Divine Universe Goldstones. The 9 dragon-marking heavenly blades were on the inside, while the 9 dragon-marking heavenly steels were on the outside, forming the double 9 dragons Heaven Origin formation. In the control room, the Divine Universe Goldstone began to frantically spin. Every time it spun, there would be a burst of 9-colored light. The 9-colored flashes surged out like liquid mist, one wave after another, extremely violent. If not for the twin 9-dragon Heavenly Origin formation absorbing the energy, they would have been killed by the violent divine cosmos power. Qin Yun had previously tried to open the box and directly face the power of the divine cosmos. His eyes were nearly blinded and his body was burned by the energy, making him feel extremely uncomfortable. Only through the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation could the power of the divine universe be tempered. The heaven-leaping shuttle once again released a powerful spatial energy, condensing into a 9-colored beam of light that shot forward, tearing apart space once more. Again, this kind of energy has already surpassed the limit of immortal desolate. No, even the limit of sacred desolate is only this much. This is a very powerful divine power. Tian Dao Zi shouted in shock. He wanted to control the heavenly law altar to suppress the crack. The divine power released by the heavenly origin double 9 dragons formation was incomparably powerful. Just as Tian Daozi had said, this had already surpassed the limits of the sacred desolate. Not good. The dragon rune heavenly steel can't hold on any longer. Qin Yun can sense that the 9-dragon heavenly steel has reached its limit. The benefits of god-level materials could be seen here. The dragon stripe heavenly saber was forged with divine-grade materials, so it was more than enough to handle it. The dragon mark heavenly steel, which was made of saint-grade materials, was about to collapse. The spatial crack was getting bigger and bigger. Let's go. When Qin Yun saw that the rift was large and stable enough, he immediately controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle to charge in. Whoosh! In the blink of an eye, the sky-leaping shuttle charged into the spatial crack and directly left the Heaven's Path altar. Within the heavenly law altar, Tian Daozi's furious curses echoed in the air. Ah, we are out! Shimin Dazhuang laughed heartily. From the main control room, they could see the 3 suns in the sky. Qin Yun took out the magic mirror and sensed the location of the divine inscription mountain. Then, he controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle to travel through space. In the blink of an eye, the heaven-leaping shuttle arrived in the sky above the divine inscription mountain and entered it. Xiao Yuemei and Long Yuqing are roasting dragon meat. Little Black Donkey and others are helping them put ingredients on the side. And the little friends of the inscription gate are leisurely roasting dragon meat. The heavenly leaping shuttle suddenly appeared in the space at the top of the divine mountain. Boss is back. The little Black Donkey laughed heartily. Big brother, big brother. Xiao Yuemei also excitedly shouted. Big brother Yun. Long Yuqing was wearing a mask, but the divine throne totem on her face still did not fade. The people in the heaven-leaping shuttle were also teleported outside. Princess Anya, Shimin Dazhuang, Shimin Qinglian, and Qin Yun appeared on the lawn. A group of people went over and surrounded them. Qin Yun quickly understood what had happened in the past 2 months. When he learned that the Divine Mountain had attacked the Nanyang Palace, Qin Yun immediately praised them with a smile. Brother, they've been going to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range for almost 2 months. Xiao Yuemei shook Qin Yun's hand and said coquettishly, It's so infuriating. Those guys actually sealed you and prevented you from stealing their things. Princess Anya said, It's fine. Even if they go for 2 years, it's useless. They only spent 2 months to figure out the situation there. Qin Yun knew that the key to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range was the mysterious Immortal Graveyard Diagram. The Immortal Graveyard Diagram has 4 parts. Qin Yun has 1 part of it. The other 3 parts are in the hands of Xie Karu. Qi Meiyan, and Xiao Yuelon. Only by obtaining this complete map would they be able to enter the most mysterious, immortal graveyard. Otherwise, if they went to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range, they would only be able to fish out some things from the other tombs. They would not be able to find the truly important tombs. Qin Yun said, Old Xiao, quickly find out how many battleships from the Outer Heaven Realm are in the Immortal Desolate. It was impossible for all the battleships from the Outer Heaven Realm to go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range. Especially inside the Alliance Army's battleships, there were star energy sources that he needed. Those stars were all excellent energy sources. The Alliance Army has 20 large battleships and 30 small ones. They are near the Heavenly Law Altar. Xiao Hua said, although the big shots of the Immortal Desolate and the Outer Heaven Realm have gone to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range, many of them are keeping an eye on the Heavenly Law Altar. They are worried that you will run out. Qin Yun laughed mischievously. Those guys from the Outer Heaven Realm might take this opportunity to cause trouble in the Immortal Desolate. Let's exterminate those guys from the Outer Heaven Realm before leaving. All right. Xiao Yuemei said with smile. We'll leave after eating the dragon meat. Qin Yun took out the devil mirror and contacted Yu Yu. He knows that Yu Yu is still in the Guanghan Palace. Sister Yu Yu, I'm out. I'm preparing to attack the battleships near the Heavenly Law Altar. Are you interested in attacking? Qin Yun asked. I'll go find you immediately. Yu Yu said, Bing Xing will stay in the Guanghan Palace to guard. I'll go alone. Yu Yu is very happy to know that Qin Yun has come out. Furthermore, she is very warlike. Knowing that they are about to attack the Alliance Army's battleships, she became even more excited. Yu Yu arrived very quickly. Everyone ate the dragon meat together and discussed how to attack the battleships. Qin Yun also expressed that he needs the energy source inside the battleships. That is also his main goal. The Nine Sun Palace and Xieyang have followed the Heavenly Gate to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range. I heard that there are 2 Xieyangs at the Cloud Dragon Mountain range. Xiao Hua said, the Sun Altar is also at the Cloud Dragon Mountain range. Yu Yu said, if you go there, you must be careful of those altars. Qin Yun drank a bowl of fruit juice made by Xiao Yingying and said with smile, these damned altars sealed me. I'll tear them all down. Who cares if they're related to the Emperor race or not? Xiao Yun, do you want to bring the Divine Inscription Mountain over? Yu Yu asked. Qin Yun nodded. If the Divine Inscription Mountain goes over, will the Devil Mirror lose its effect? Little Black Donkey said. It won't. Nether Sect also has a Devil Mirror Formation Foundation. Nether Sect's Heavenly City's defense is very strong. It will be very difficult to flatten it. Devil Mirror Immortal Emperor said. Yu Yu wants to stay in the Guanghan Palace. She can't go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range. She also warned Qin Yun and others to pay attention to those evil forces. After eating and drinking, they discussed how to attack. Before leaving, they will get rid of the Alliance Army's battleships. This will make the Immortal Desolate even more peaceful. Near the Heavenly Law Altar, dozens of battleships are flying here and there. In order to deal with these battleships, Yu Yu even contacted the Guanghan Palace. Her Guanghan Palace controls the moon at night and cooperates with the Star Great Formation deployed near the moon to lock down all the battleships near the Heavenly Law Altar from the sky and restrict them from traveling through space. It must be known that the Guanghan Palace has the Star God Altar and also the Star Fairy Princess Yushatian. Therefore, the Guanghan Palace has a lot of star-related formation knowledge. With the moon as the center, they set up many stars and set up a Star Great Formation. This Star Great Formation was set up by the Star God in the Divine Desolate with the help of the Star God Altar. It is a very powerful Tao evolution Star Great Formation. At night, the Divine Inscription Mountain turned into a very large stone lion and stealthily arrived at a dense forest near the Heavenly Law Altar. Qin Yun said, Old Shan, control the Divine Inscription Mountain to teleport and find the best angle to aim at those battleships. The others are in charge of using the 9 dragon head cannons to quickly blast away the bow and stern of the battleships, leaving only the middle position. The middle position is where the energy source is located. The mountain god and the others nodded. Sister Yu, Princess, Old Shao, the four of us will go out and collect the energy source. If someone besieges us, if the other side has few people, you will run out and kill them. If there are many people, we will run into the divine inscription mountain and hide. You can then open fire at them. Qin Yun said again. Dozens of battleships. For people going out to collect the energy source is enough. After all, the four of them are relatively powerful. The others will stay in the divine inscription mountain and be responsible for controlling the dragon head cannons, defending and attracting the Alliance Army's attack. This way, Qin Yun and the others can quietly take away the energy source. After discussing, everyone took their positions. Yu said, Bing Xing and Ling Long are cooperating with us in the Guanghan Palace. They will lock down those battleships and try their best not to let them leave. Hee, those powerful fellows have all gone to the Cloud Dragon mountain range. We are invincible in the immortal desolate, the mountain god said with a smile. In the quiet night, those battleships slowly circled around the heavenly law altar. They are only responsible for patrolling. If there is any movement from the heavenly law altar, they will take action. Qin Yun's heaven-leaping shuttle ran out long ago. Tian Dao Zi, who is inside the altar, is unable to contact the outside. Therefore, no one knows that Qin Yun has come out. Suddenly, a burst of rumbling sound broke the silence of the night. The bow and stern of the battleships in the sky were suddenly hit. Qin Yun left the nine-dragon heavenly origin formation in the divine inscription mountain. So the nine dragon head cannons are extremely powerful. Just 2 cannons can directly destroy the bow and stern of the ship, leaving only the middle section. Qin Yun, Yu, Princess Anya, and Xiao Hua quickly rushed into the middle section and used special storage magic tools to take away the energy source. Then, they quickly moved to the next ship. The sound of cannons is unceasing. The sky is echoing all around. Even from far away, one could still hear the frightening sound of the explosion. The battleships in the sky are like headless flies, flying around in panic to dodge. However, as they're flying around, they suddenly became very slow. That is the Guanghan Palace using its power, releasing a powerful formation power, making it difficult for the battleships to move. Qin Yun and the others only took away the star energy inside the battleships and killed the Alliance Army people who came to stop them. The Alliance Army people originally thought that since the big shots of the major powers have gone to the Cloud Dragon mountain range, they would be able to act arrogantly in the immortal desolate. Chapter 1841. Returned to Cloud Dragon. Qin Yun and company had collected quite a number of star energy sources, enough to last them for a period of time. The warship of the Alliance Army was destroyed, which was also witnessed by many people. Overnight, the news that the Alliance Army warships were completely annihilated spread violently on the magic mirror. Surprisingly, it was the inscription gate that had destroyed the Alliance Army's warship. Previously, the inscription gate had attacked the Nanyang Palace. Now, they had completely destroyed the Alliance Army's warships. This kind of strength was so powerful that it was terrifying. There were many images circulating on the demonic mirror. There are inscription Divine Mountain attacking those warships. There are also warships counterattacking inscription Divine Mountain. The defense of the Divine Inscription Mountain is very strong. The attack of the warship is simply unable to break the defensive barrier of the Divine Inscription Mountain. One had to know that the Black Tortoise formation of the Divine Mountain was activated through the Nine Dragons' Heavenly Origin Formation. With the Nine Dragons' Heavenly Origin Formation inside the Divine Inscription Mountain, it could greatly increase the overall strength of the Divine Inscription Mountain. Most of the big shots of the various factions had gone to the Cloud Dragon mountain range. They had been there for almost 2 months. During this period of time, the Alliance Army of the Outer Heaven Domain was indeed quite arrogant in the immortal desolate. Now that they have been annihilated by the inscription gate, it is very satisfying. Immortal Desolate's people don't know that Qin Yun has already come out from the heavenly law altar and that he is the one leading the battle. Inside the divine inscription mountain, Qin Yun received the storage magic tools from Xiao Hua, Yu Yu, and Princess Anya. They all contain the star energy sources. The good stars that these fellows from the outer realm have found over the years have all fallen into your hands. Princess Dark Knight said. She naturally knew what those star energy sources meant. In the starry sky, there were countless stars, but there were very few stars that could be used as energy sources. It wasn't easy to find them either. Those from the outer heaven domains often traveled the starry sky to find good stars that could be used as energy sources. Although there were a lot of warships, the energy source inside was something that they had spent many years to find. Now, Qin Yun had obtained dozens of them. When are you going to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range? Yu Yu asked. Immediately, Qin Yun said with a smile. Sister Yu Yu, are you really not going? Yu Yu lightly snorted and said, I want to go, but the Guanghan Palace needs someone to guard it. Sis Xiao wants me to stay, so I can only listen to her. I'm going back. Be careful in the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. Qin Yun teleported Yu Yu out and told her to return to Guanghan Palace. Boss, how do we get to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range? Do you really plan on taking the entire Divine Rune Mountain? Mountain God asked. The inscription Divine Mountain is very strong. If we go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range, we can mess with those fellows. Qin Yun chuckled and said, Therefore, we have to go to the inscription Divine Mountain. Princess Dark Knight looked around and said, The Divine Inscription Mountain can shrink and be stuffed into the warehouse of the Heaven Leaping Shuttle, right? Qin Yun nodded and said, Of course. As long as the Heaven Leaping Shuttle can reach the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range, we can reach the Divine Inscription Mountain Range. Then let's go now. Shimin Dezhuang said, The elders of my Shimin family have all gone to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. This group of heartless fellows, I previously asked them to come and save me, but none of them came. In the end, they just ignored me. Boss is still the best. Giving eldest cousin's sister and Qinglian to you is not a loss at all. Shimin Qinglian glared at him and cursed in a low voice. Damn Dezhuang. What right do you have to give me away? Seeing that Shimin Qinglian is about to flip out, Shimin Dezhuang used Pippi Pigs but to face her. Big brother, after we go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range, should we immediately find our people? Xiao Yuanmei said, Nether Sect, Guanghan Palace, Immortal Desolate Dragon Race, and Immortal Desolate Holy Palace have a good relationship with us. They all sent people to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. Immortal Desolate Sacred Master, this fool, also went? Qin Yun asked. Indeed. Long Yuqing nodded and said, I was with my mother in the Immortal Desolate Holy Palace. Originally, I wanted to go with them, but that damned head said I was too weak and didn't let me go. I'm so angry. Qin Yun said with smile. Immortal Desolate Sacred Master, this guy is really something. Don't worry, I will take you there. When we get to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range, we will use the Divine Inscription Mountain as a teleportation point. If we encounter any danger, we can teleport back and we will be very safe. Xiao Yuanmei charmingly smiled and said to the little black donkey, Xiao Xianyu, Great God Xianwu, must stay in the Divine Inscription Mountain. Only you can make the Xianwu Great Formation operate the best. As long as I have something to eat, I could be sealed here. The little black donkey said with smile. Qin Yun and Princess Anya flew outside and took out the Heaven Leaping Shuttle. Everyone else is inside the Divine Inscription Mountain. After the Divine Inscription Mountain became small, Qin Yun teleported it to the warehouse of the Heaven Leaping Shuttle. Qin Yun sat in the control room and took out the 9 Dragon Rune Heavenly Sabers. Princess Anya said, You plan to let the Heaven Leaping Shuttle absorb the energy of the Divine Universe Golden Stone and travel through space. I don't think there is a need to use the Divine Universe Golden Stone. Just use the energy of the stars. The energy of those stars are all sacred power level. Qin Yun laughed. He placed 2 star energy sources inside each Dragon Rune Heavenly Saber. Princess Anya sighed and said, One of these stars can allow a battleship to travel through space across the heaven domain. It is also the energy source for the battleship to attack and defend. You place 2 in 1 saber. This is incredible. Wait until you have the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation. I will give you some stars. Qin Yun said with a smile. I will try my best to use them sparingly. Don't worry, I have a 9-dragon's heavenly origin formation. I can solve the problem of the energy source by myself. Princess Anya was secretly excited when she thought that she could have the 9-dragon's heavenly origin formation. Qin Yun controlled the 9-dragon heavenly origin formation to circulate. The 9-dragon rune heavenly sabers transformed the star energy source and released 9-colored light. Although the energy fluctuations weren't as strong as those from the Divine Universe Goldstones, they were still very terrifying. Qin Yun felt that if he used the double 9-dragon heavenly origin array to absorb the star energy sources, he would be able to leave the heavenly Tao altar even without the Divine Universe Goldstone. I wonder if 1 9-dragon heavenly origin array is enough. Going to the Cloud Dragon mountain range should be more difficult than escaping from the Heavenly Law altar, right? Qin Yun controlled the Heaven Leaping Shuttle to absorb the energy. The Heaven Leaping Shuttle had once been to the Cloud Dragon mountain range. The spatial teleportation point of the Cloud Dragon mountain range was recorded in the Heaven Leaping Shuttle. Princess Anya said, not necessarily. The Cloud Dragon mountain range was now on the same level as the Immortal Desolate. Even though it belonged to the Holy Sun sect, it was still a special realm of unbounded desolation. The spatial enchantment of the Heavenly Law altar was created by the mysterious Heavenly Tao power. Let's give it a try, Qin Yun said. Once the energy is accumulated to the limit, we'll begin the spatial travel. The white jade, gourd-like Heaven Leaping Shuttle is currently blossoming with 9-colored light. It is slightly trembling as it condensed a vast amount of energy. Qin Yun also sensed that the Heaven Leaping Shuttle is about to reach its limit. I wonder what the Cloud Dragon mountain range has become. Since it's a sun-holy land, it must have undergone an earth-shattering change. Qin Yun said, this is definitely different from the Cloud Dragon mountain range you knew back then. Although the 10,000 Snake Mountain Range is also a sun-holy land, the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range is stronger than the 10,000 Snake Mountain Range. Princess Anya said, after all, one is a snake and the other is a dragon. I heard that there are a total of 5 sun-holy lands. Are there things inside? Qin Yun asked. Yes, there are Divine Universe Goldstone dragon eggs in the 10,000 Snake Mountain Range. What did you use the yolk of the dragon egg for? Princess Anya asked. She had gone with Qin Yun to snatch the dragon egg back then. I'll leave it for now, Qin Yun said. Actually, he used it for the Devil Star Tyrant Dragon to absorb. He didn't know what would happen to the Devil Star Tyrant Dragon after absorbing the yolk of the dragon egg. The trembling Heaven Leaping Shuttle suddenly calmed down. The energy absorption has reached its limit. Let's go. Qin Yun controlled the Heaven Leaping Shuttle and released a powerful spatial power. He began tearing space apart. When traversing space or traveling through super long-distance space, one would need to tear open a spatial crack. After the spatial crack appeared, it gradually grew larger. When it was enough for the Heaven Leaping Shuttle to enter, Qin Yun immediately controlled the Heaven Leaping Shuttle to enter the spatial crack. In the blink of an eye, the Heaven Leaping Shuttle arrived in another space. It is nighttime, and the moon can't be seen in the sky. In the space of the Cloud Dragon mountain range, he actually can't see the giant moon of the Immortal Desolate. This Cloud Dragon mountain range has indeed changed a lot. Although Qin Yun arrived in another space, he sensed that there is sacred energy floating in this place. This is a place where one can cultivate sacred power. It didn't exist before. Princess Anya said, this is the Sun Holy Land after all. This kind of holy land will only change after the sun falls. The sun falls into the 9 desolate. Can you imagine the sun's energy? And the energy of the Holy Land comes from the great desolate where the sun falls. Qin Yun controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle and released the divine inscription mountain from the warehouse. Then, he and Princess Anya arrived at the divine inscription mountain. The magic mirror formation foundation can't be used. Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror is very alarmed. Is the spatial laws here very different from the immortal desolate? Storage magic tools can be used. Qin Yun said, previously in the ancient garden, because the spatial laws were different, storage magic tools could not be used. At that time, only Qin Yun could refine a usable storage magic tool. Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror said, maybe it's because the magic mirror formation foundation hasn't been integrated into this space. I'll adjust it. You guys go out and see if you can use teleportation talismans to come back. Long Yuqing immediately went out, flew to a very far place, and then teleported back. The process was very smooth. Then we used teleportation talismans and magic mirror together, so that we can temporarily contact each other and support each other. Xiaohua said, all right. Qin Yun nodded. Let's split up and figure out the situation here. Don't get into conflict with others. Xiaohua warned again. He is after all a senior. Everyone listened to him. Xiao Yuanmei pulled Long Youqing's hand and said with smile, brother, I want to go with Sister Long. You're not going with me? Qin Yun curled his lips and said, little girl, you are very attached to me. Why don't you go with me? Don't tell me you want to cause trouble. Brother, I have an appointment with Sister Long. We're going to explore this place together. Xiao Yuanmei said with smile. Let us go. We will definitely pay attention to safety. All right, then you guys be careful. Qin Yun said. Xiao Yuanmei and Long Yuqing are very happy and immediately left the divine inscription mountain. Chapter 1842. Evil Spirits and Monsters. When Qin Yun was with Princess Anya, he often thought of the temporarily unknown hatred with Princess Anya. Previously, Princess Anya said that she wanted Qin Yun to help her find a person. She had been looking for a long time, and Qin Yun happened to be the person she was looking for. She did not say why she was looking for this person. When Qin Yun and Princess Anya were refining the dragon rune Heavenly Saber, he asked her a few times, but she avoided answering. Let's go out and have a look first, Princess Dark Knight said. All right, Qin Yun said with smile. Everyone, if you want to leave the mountain, follow me. Shimin Dazhuang laughed and said, I want to go out. I'm not going, I'll just stay here. Shimin Qinglian said, the environment here is so good. I want to take this opportunity to cultivate and become stronger. Up to you. Shimin Dazhuang laughed and said, in any case, I want to go out. I want to find Father and the others. The three dragons, Azure Dragon, Fire Dragon, and Water Dragon, along with the Black Mouse by Zay, are 5 powerful inscription beasts. They also want to go out and take a look. As for Lu Jiyin, Immortal Emperor Demonic Mirror, and Xiaohua, they had to stay here. They had to set up the Demonic Mirror's formation base so that they could communicate easily. Just like that, Qin Yun, Princess Anya, Shimin Dazhuang, the 5 inscription beasts, and Pippi Pig left the divine inscription mountain together. There was a forest outside. The trees in this forest were very strange. The tree trunks were like sharp swords, ranging from 100 meters to a few hundred meters tall. They were inserted straight into the ground. Every tree had branches and leaves at the top. The branches were very straight, and the leaves were the same as swords. The most surprising thing was that the tree trunk was like a sharp sword, shining with a cold light, reflecting a weak cold light. As soon as they came out, the expressions of the 3 dragons changed. 3 big brothers, have you discovered something? Pippi Pig cried out in fear. Why do I feel that there is something very terrifying here? The runes on my body are trembling. Black Rat by Zay's expression turned solemn as he looked around. My runes are also moving, He Shu said in deep voice. There is something in this place that is strongly calling us inscription beasts. Bai Zay said, shall we go and have a look? Azure Dragon said, boss, let's go take a look at that place. Don't worry about us. All right then, be careful on the road. Qin Yun warned, if the situation is not right, Remember to leave quickly. Shimin Dezhuang shivered and said, Boss, why is this place so scary? You're not an inscription beast. What did you sense? Qin Yun smiled and patted his shoulder. I don't know. In short, I'm afraid. There's a power here that terrifies me. Shimin Dezhuang became more and more terrified. He said in a low voice, Boss, I'm not going. I want to stay on the divine inscription mountain. Qin Yun said with a frown, Dezhuang, what are you afraid of? Azure Dragon and the others were also looking at Shimin Dezhuang. My master told me to cultivate a very strange power that will give me a special feeling. If this feeling appears, it means that there is something here that will give even the heavenly energy a headache. Shimin Dezhuang said, Master also said that if I have this feeling, I must hide well, otherwise those things will come to me and eat me. Did Tian Dao Zi say what it was? Qin Yun asked. Let me think. Shimin Dezhuang said with a frown. I don't remember much of what he said, because he is usually very mysterious. I turn a deaf ear to his words. Indeed, Tian Dao Zi often said some very strange things. Princess Anya said, This Cloud Dragon Mountain range indeed gives people a very uncomfortable feeling. Is it? Why can't I sense it? Qin Yun really did not sense it. He only felt that the sacred power aura of the heavenly energy is very dense. Shimin Dezhuang suddenly cried out, I remember now, Master said that those things are called evil ghosts and heavenly monsters. Evil ghosts and heavenly monsters? He Shu said with a smile. Could it be heavenly monsters? Heavenly monsters are formed by absorbing divine universe golden stones. They are extremely powerful, and only the power of divine universe golden stones can deal with them. No, my master said that they're even more difficult to deal with than heavenly monsters. In short, I don't know what it is like. He told me that if I encounter this kind of thing, I must hide far away. Shimin Dezhuang shook his head. Qin Yun looked at Princess Anya. Princess Anya seems to be thinking about it as she searches her memories. She has a lot of memories. After all, they are the memories of several lifetimes, and they are even intermittent. I have some impression. After Princess Anya thought about it, she said in a deep voice, that kind of thing is similar to heavenly monsters. They are all formed by divine universe golden stones. What is different from heavenly monsters is that evil ghosts and heavenly monsters are formed from evil spirits and evil spirits. Yes, that's right. Shimin Dezhuang cried out in alarm. Big sister, you know so much. Princess Anya said again. When humans or beasts have evil intentions and obtain the energy of divine universe golden stones, they can become heavenly monsters. It can also be said that they went berserk when absorbing the energy of divine universe golden stones. As for evil ghosts and heavenly monsters, they are formed from some evil spirits and evil spirits that came into contact with the evil divine universe power. Shimin Dezhuang hurriedly nodded and said, My master said the same thing. He said that the divine universe power belongs to the energy of good and evil. If one is affected, the divine universe power will completely transform into evil. The Cloud Dragon Mountain range has divine universe golden stones. Qin Yun said in alarm. And it's not small at all. Boss, we should hide inside the divine inscription mountain range. Shimin Dezhuang said in low voice, It will be safer this way. Those evil ghosts and heavenly monsters are truly terrifying. My master told me to cultivate this kind of special energy. As long as there are evil ghosts and heavenly monsters, I will be able to sense them. Dezhuang, then you should stay inside the divine inscription mountain. Qin Yun said, And I will go back now. Shimin Dezhuang carried Pippi Pig and entered the space inside the divine inscription mountain. Qin Yun looked at Bai Zhe and Sam Long and said, You must be careful. Those evil ghosts and heavenly monsters are unknown dangers. If you're not a match for them, remember to seize the opportunity to escape. Boss, we understand. You should also be careful, Bai Zhe said. Qin Yun nodded. Bai Zhe and Sam Long are running inside the forest. There are also inscription beasts like Old Fox Huang and Xian Tiger King inside the divine inscription mountain. They did not go out. Instead, they stayed inside to cultivate. Qin Yun took out the Nether Spirit Sacred Blade. It can sense nearby souls and has the function of warning. Although the Nether Spirit's Sacred Blade has been placed inside the dragon Heavenly Rune and carved with the dragon totem, its original power has not disappeared. Princess Anya took out her Heavenly Flame Divine Fan. Her inner crystal mother is much better than Qin Yun's, so she can frequently awaken the Sun Soul. After using Qin Yun's inner crystal mother for a period of time, the energy inside it will be consumed and it will need to be stored again. Fortunately, storing energy is relatively simple. It can only be placed inside one of the 9 Sun Divine Soul's Pearl to absorb sacred, mysterious silver crystal or star energy. Princess, how much do you know about those evil ghosts and heavenly monsters? These things, are they soul bodies or something else? Qin Yun asked. I don't know. Regarding these things, my memory is very vague. Princess Anya shook her head. She said that her memory is vague because she lost part of her memory. All right? In short, we must be careful. Qin Yun took out a soul-chasing talisman. It is used to track Siekaru. Siekaru's direction is the opposite of Baizei's direction. This Cloud Dragon Mountain range is truly beyond my expectations. Princess Anya said, Qin Yun, didn't you say that you were born in this vicinity? Was the situation like this at that time? No, it's not at all. Qin Yun shook his head and said, if the Cloud Dragon Mountain range had such a powerful thing back then, I would have been killed long ago. Qin Yun had walked around the Cloud Dragon Mountain range a few times. Although he had encountered many powerful things, he had never seen those evil ghosts and heavenly monsters. Princess Anya is walking in front. Her cultivation is higher than Qin Yun's. Qin Yun followed behind her. There is something on his waist that looks like a golden flute. It is actually a small 9 Heavens dragon lion cannon. There are many holes on this slender tube, and the dragon rune Heavenly Saber is placed in those holes. In case of an emergency, Qin Yun can immediately use the 9 Heavens dragon lion cannon. Is the person you are looking for far away? Princess Anya asked. I don't know. My soul-chasing talisman senses through soul fluctuations. Qin Yun shook his head. The soul-chasing talisman is used to track the soul fluctuations she left behind in the vicinity. Princess Anya is not very worried, because Qin Yun has all kinds of powerful things. Even if they encounter a danger they cannot deal with, they can still avoid it. Qin Yun said, I'll take out the Heaven Leaping Shuttle and ride it. It will be safer this way. That's fine too. Princess Anya nodded. Qin Yun took out the Heaven Leaping Shuttle and entered with Princess Anya. After entering, Qin Yun wanted to contact Xiao Yuanmei through the magic mirror, but failed. Their magic mirror is a fusion teleportation talisman. Logically speaking, they should be able to contact each other. Qin Yun immediately became very anxious. He thought that something had happened to Xiao Yuanmei. Then he tried to contact Black Rat by Zay and the others and realized that he could not contact them. What's going on? Qin Yun said in alarm. Can the Heaven Leaping Shuttle travel through space? Princess Anya also sensed that something is amiss. Qin Yun immediately tried it, and his expression changed drastically. He shook his head and said no. Soon after, he used the teleportation jade pendant to teleport, but he was unable to succeed. Princess Anya said, This is troublesome. The space here suddenly strengthened. Suddenly strengthened? Why did it suddenly strengthen? Qin Yun said in astonishment. Yu Qin could still teleport back before. Princess Anya let out a long sigh and said, Qin Yun, you might not believe me if I tell you. Tell me. Qin Yun said, This Cloud Dragon Mountain range, it should be a living thing. Princess Anya's tone was heavy as she said in a low voice, or rather, the Cloud Dragon Mountain range is inside the body of some living thing. Chapter 1843. A bold guess, that's impossible. Qin Yun shouted strangely. When I was young, I entered the Cloud Dragon Mountain range, and I even passed through it. Princess Anya said, This Cloud Dragon Mountain range is the Sun's sacred land. after absorbing all kinds of energy for many years. Maybe it has already evolved into a life form. This is not impossible. It's just that it's hard for us to detect it. Big Sister Princess, why are you so sure? Qin Yun said. When we came in, we forcefully opened a spatial crack. At that time, the space inside was quite loose, and Yu Qing could use teleportation talisman to teleport back. But later on, she suddenly couldn't. Princess Anya said, there's only one possibility. The Cloud Dragon Mountain range sensed that the space wasn't strong enough and suddenly strengthened it. Qin Yin said, maybe there's some kind of barrier inside. Princess Anya said, if the space god came, he wouldn't be able to change the laws of space so quickly. You must know that this Cloud Dragon Mountain range is very big. It's not inside the heavenly law altar. Such a huge creature, the spatial barrier can change at will. This might be its natural reaction. Qin Yin said, you mean to say that we are inside a very large life form? Yes, a very special life form, active in the various layers of the Nine Suns' heavenly domain. This should be a kind of space inscription beast. Princess Anya suddenly became somewhat excited and said, this space inscription beast might have swallowed the entire Cloud Dragon Mountain range and then evolved. However, because the Cloud Dragon Mountain range is the sun's sacred land, it is closely connected to the various desolate lands. Qin Yin felt somewhat uncomfortable thinking about how he is in the stomach of a beast. Princess Anya said, didn't you say that you can see the moon from here? Now that I can't see it, it might be because of this reason. A powerful and strange space inscription beast is swimming in the various layers of the Nine Suns' heavenly domain. It has an extremely close connection with the various layers of the Nine Suns' heavenly domain. It seems like it can't leave the Nine Suns' heavenly domain. Qin Yin said, forget it. Let's find Sister Kiru first. Once we find her, we'll know the specific situation. The heaven-leaping shuttle can't travel through space. It can only fly in the air. After flying for more than an hour, the entire journey was very smooth and they didn't encounter anything. Just as Qin Yun is starting to relax, the heaven-leaping shuttle suddenly trembled. What's going on? Princess Anya hurriedly asked. A powerful energy is rushing over. Qin Yun immediately controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle to dodge. Boom! Qin Yun and Princess Anya in the main control room could hear a muffled sound coming from the sky-leaping shuttle. Although the heaven-leaping shuttle dodged the attack and didn't suffer any direct damage, it was still jolted by the shockwave. The heaven-leaping shuttle is in the sky. It has become a target. Let's go out and take a look. Qin Yun said anxiously. Qin Yun and Princess Anya immediately left the heaven-leaping shuttle. Qin Yun put away the heaven-leaping shuttle and saw that his surroundings were filled with red light. The violent energy that attacked the heaven-leaping shuttle missed and landed on the ground and exploded. What was surprising was that only the treetops of those trees were blasted away. The sword-like tree trunks were still pierced into the ground, but they were already swaying left and right. As for the ground, there wasn't even a dent in the ground after receiving such a powerful attack. The powerful force that attacked the ground was actually unable to tear it apart. This is the stomach wall of a powerful beast. How can it be destroyed so easily? Princess Anya shook her head and said, even if it can be destroyed, it will recover very quickly. Just like us who have powerful bodies, our recovery power is extremely strong. Qin Yun looked at the sky and said with a frown, what attacked us just now? This red energy is filled with hostility. Could it be the evil ghost heavenly monster? Just as Princess Anya finished speaking, she suddenly pulled Qin Yun's hand and waved the heavenly fire divine fan in a certain direction. And Qin Yun also felt that his nether soul sacred blade is trembling. A powerful soul body is approaching. Hoo! After the heavenly fire divine fan was waved, golden flames swept out like a tornado. It is as if a golden raging wave is surging and roaring in the air. In front of them, a blood-colored giant eagle is flying over. The giant eagle has 3 eagle heads and a wingspan of more than 10 meters. It is not particularly big, but what is frightening is that the three eagle heads are all human heads, and their mouths are long and sharp beaks. The eagle's wings are also made of many humans' thick arms. They are all blood red, and the eagle's claws are very large. They can grab a house. Evil ghost heavenly monster. Princess Anya pulled Qin Yun and flew in the air. The three heads of the blood-colored giant eagle let out a cry at the same time. The vibrating sound wave is very ear-piercing. Qin Yun and Princess Anya only felt very uncomfortable. Should we attack? Qin Yun said. Don't waste it. Dodge if you can. Princess Anya knows that Qin Yun's 9 Heavens Dragon Line cannon is very strong, but it needs to consume star cannonballs, and after firing, it needs to cool down. Although the blood-colored giant eagle is very strong, they can dodge it, so there's no need to waste it. Princess Anya brought Qin Yun, and their speed is still very fast. They flew in the air like a beam of light. The blood-colored giant eagle chased them for a full half an hour before giving up. At this moment, Qin Yun and Princess Anya arrived at a forest. The tree trunk is shaped like a spear. Finally got rid of that guy. Princess Anya landed in the forest and sat on a tree branch to rest. Are all the trees here shaped like weapons? Qin Yun is somewhat surprised. This can prove my previous guess even more. That space inscription beast has seen many weapons, so the things in its stomach also grew according to the things in its mind. Princess Anya said, those evil ghosts and heavenly monsters also grew according to its mind. Qin Yun smiled. When I think about being inside the body of a giant beast, I feel very uncomfortable. Princess Anya said, evil ghosts and heavenly monsters should be insects inside the giant beast. When we have stomachache, it's because there is something dirty in our stomach. All right, let's not talk about this anymore. Qin Yun spread his hands and smiled. This will make me feel even more uncomfortable. Qin Yun, now you know how strong evil ghosts and heavenly monsters are, right? Princess Anya sighed and said, this damn place is really special. I think I can blow up that strange eagle with one shot. Qin Yun said, you can blow up one, but you can't blow up the second one. Princess Anya shook her head. You must remember, 9 Heavens Dragon Line cannon can only be used at the most critical moment. In a situation just now, I can take you away, so there is no need to use it. Princess Anya is very cautious. She believes that even if Qin Yun blows up that strange eagle, it will still attract other evil ghosts and heavenly monsters. I still have Heaven Leaping Shuttle, 9 Dragon Heavenly Origin Formation, Divine Universe Golden Stone. Qin Yun said with a smile. He is rather relaxed. I think it's best if you don't use Divine Universe Golden Stone and 9 Dragon Heavenly Origin Formation. Princess Anya is somewhat worried and said, if we are really inside the body of a giant beast, what if the Divine Universe Golden Stone is sensed? Maybe the giant beast will release something and directly wrap you up and refine you. All right, I will definitely be careful. After hearing Princess Anya's words, Qin Yun suddenly became more worried in this aspect. Princess Anya sat on a thick branch and calmly rested to recover from her previous loss. She wants to keep herself in peak condition at all times. After resting for more than an hour, they suddenly heard a loud explosion. A wave of air accompanied it, causing the branches and leaves to tremble. There is a battle. Qin Yun immediately took out a few soul-chasing talismans. He wants to determine whether or not his acquaintances are at the place where the battle occurred. He Shu, Bai Zhe, and the other inscription beasts are not in that direction. Xiao Yueme, Xie Karu, and the others are also not there. Not an acquaintance. Qin Yun said, we don't need to go over. Just as he finished speaking, his expression changed greatly, and he shouted, let's leave quickly. Let's go. Princess Anya suddenly pulled Qin Yun and instantly rushed into the sky. Boom! Just as they entered the sky, a violent energy ferociously attacked them. Both Qin Yun and Princess Anya could sense danger approaching at the first moment. It is indeed a battle between evil spirits and heavenly monsters. Princess Anya looked down and said in a low voice, "It seems like the ones fighting against the evil spirits and heavenly monsters are humans, and there are quite a few of them." Qinyan also saw the evil spirits and heavenly monsters. They're not very big, only 2 to 3 meters tall. Their heads look like the fusion of a lion's head and a human's head. Their mouth is especially big, and their eyes look like humans' eyes. These evil spirits and heavenly monsters can stand upright. Their entire body is blue, and their hands are like human arms. On their back, there are 2 bulging backbones and 2 very flexible tails. They look like the tails of a lion wrapped in scales. Why are these heavenly monsters as strange as the people of the outer heaven domain? Qinyan said in shock. Could it be that they are transformed from the people of the outer heaven domain? It's also possible. After all, this is the Sun Holy Land. Maybe a large number of evil spirits from the outer heaven domain have died here. Princess Anya said, "There are dozens of people besieging the evil spirits and heavenly monsters. They're all holding spears in their hands. Those spears look like they have been transformed from the trees here. The armor they are wearing is made from bee scales and looks very rough. They are hunting," Qinyan said. Some villages often organize the young adults of the village to go hunting. The scene below is exactly like this. These people dare to besiege the evil spirits and heavenly monsters. They are truly powerful. Princess Anya exclaimed in admiration. Unbelievable. This was once a place of mortals. All kinds of creatures have become so powerful. Qinyan also knows how much the Cloud Dragon Mountain range has changed. The humans who entered here have all evolved to become so powerful. When necessary, we will help, Qinyan said. Princess Anya nodded. They all want to contact the people here and understand the situation of the Cloud Dragon Mountain range. Qinyan also understood why Siekiru told him to become stronger. It seems like she knows the situation here. The evil spirits and heavenly monsters were besieged by powerful humans, and their bodies were pierced by 2 spears. Chapter 1844. Heavenly Ghost. Chapter 1844. Qinyan and Princess Anya are floating high in the sky. Seeing the evil ghosts and heavenly monsters being surrounded and beaten up, they found it hard to believe. Qinyan is very clear about the strength of heavenly monsters. After all, he has encountered them before, and evil ghosts and heavenly monsters are even more difficult to deal with than heavenly monsters. Now they look so weak. Do these things look so weak? Qinyan said, "Is this what you and De Zhuang think is very powerful?" Princess Anya shook her head. "I am sure that the lion head monster is an evil ghost and heavenly monster. It doesn't seem to be weak at all," Qinyan said with a frown. "Its body is too weak. It was pierced by those spears in an instant. The heavenly monster I met in Heartless Immortal Venerable's Tomb City had very powerful body. Heartless Immortal Venerable has Sun Soul Divine weapon, but it is very difficult for him to kill those heavenly monsters." Princess Anya has also heard of this matter before. It shouldn't be. Logically speaking, these evil ghosts and heavenly monsters are indeed stronger than those so-called heavenly monsters. Princess Anya is also filled with doubt and muttered, "Could it be that my understanding of evil ghosts and heavenly monsters is wrong? De Zhuang's master, Tian Dao Zi, has the same understanding as you. He feels that evil ghosts and heavenly monsters are very strong, stronger than heavenly monsters." Qinyan said, "Maybe the evil ghosts and heavenly monsters in this place are not strong enough. The battle below is very fierce." The group of hunters are shouting excitedly and attacking the heavenly monster. The evil ghosts and heavenly monsters screamed again and again, fleeing in all directions. They look very miserable. Of course, the hunters are also very strong. Their movement speed and attack power are very terrifying. These hunters are not weak. What happened in this damn place? Why are the humans here so strong? Qinyan is very puzzled. "Looks like we don't need to help," Princess Anya said. "Then should we go talk to those people?" Qinyan sought Princess Anya's opinion. Do you want to talk to them? Princess Anya asked. And, after all, they are the hunters here. They should know the situation here better. Qin Yun said with a smile. Look at them. They have already caught that evil ghost and heavenly monster. Princess Anya nodded and said, Then let's go down and talk to them. The group of hunters below had already captured the evil spirits and monsters. The lion-headed monster's body was bound by glowing vines, and its body was riddled with dozens of holes. It howled incessantly. Qin Yun and Princess Anya also flew down at this time. As they flew down, the hunters also noticed them. More than a dozen hunters immediately threw their spears at Qin Yun and the Dark Knight Princess in the air. Everyone, let's talk this out. We have no ill intentions. Qin Yun said anxiously. Princess Anya, on the other hand, used the heaven fire fan in her hand to create a gust of wind, blowing away those spears. They are from Immortal Desolate. Suddenly someone laughed sinisterly and said, Quickly capture them. These guys look very delicious. Qin Yun and Princess Anya are shocked. These people are actually cannibals. Most of the hunters suddenly jumped into the sky and surrounded Qin Yun and Princess Anya. The spears that they had thrown out just now suddenly flew back into their hands. Then, a group of people rushed over and fiercely stabbed the spears in their hands. Seeing that these people want to eat them, Qin Yun did not explain too much. He tightly held the Nether Spirit's sacred blade, dodged, then flashed behind a hunter and hacked down. Heavenly Extermination 9 style, Heavenly Shaker, absolute, young, immortal power exploded out. Through the Nether Spirit's sacred blade, it released a kind of soul-piercing power. Bang! After Qin Yun's saber hacked down, the hunter was not cut in half. Only his body suffered a heavy blow and fell to the ground. The defense of the hunter's armor is very strong. Die! A large man roared, his spears stabbed randomly, sweeping out a very berserk holy power. Qin Yun can feel the dreadfulness of the holy power assaulting his face, causing his exposed skin to feel stinging pain. Facing the berserk holy power, Qin Yun can only dodge. He doesn't dare to face it head-on. Princess Anya also fell into a bitter battle. She can only resist with difficulty. They discovered that the hunter's armor is very strong. It absorbs holy power for defense. The hunter's spears are even more dreadful. They are much stronger than immortal tools from Immortal Desolate. The most dreadful thing is that the hunter's holy power is even stronger when combined with the spears in their hands. If the hunters don't use their spears, their holy power will be weakened by many times. The heavenly ghost ran away. A hunter suddenly shouted, Don't worry about the heavenly ghost. Capture these two Immortal Desolate people. Their meat must taste very good. Ha ha ha. A large man laughed nastily and crazily attacked Qin Yun. Let's go. Princess Anya controlled the heavenly flame divine fan and swept out a strong heavenly flame. Like a gale, it blew towards the group of attacking hunters. Qin Yun quickly left the battle and flew in the sky. While flying behind Qin Yun, Princess Anya unceasingly fanned the heavenly flame divine fan behind her, releasing berserk heavenly flame gale to block the group of hunters. Qin Yun tightly held the 9 Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon and asked, Should we shoot them? Don't waste it. As long as we can escape, don't waste our cannonballs on them. Princess Anya very cautiously said. Qin Yun is suddenly worried about Xiao Yuanmei and Long Yuqing, because the situation in the Cloud Dragon Mountain range is much more complicated than they imagined. Not to mention how powerful the evil ghost and heavenly devil are. The hunters who hunt them eat people. Qin Yun and Princess Anya have been chased for more than an hour. Those hunters chased and cursed at the same time. In the end, they could only give up because not only can they not catch up, they're also being roasted by Princess Anya's flames. Finally, Qin Yun and Princess Anya distanced themselves from the group of hunters. What the hell? There's no way to communicate at all. They want to eat me the moment they see me? Qin Yun is extremely alarmed. What's going on with this Cloud Dragon Mountain range? At this moment, they arrived at another forest. The tree trunks of this forest have another kind of shape, It looks like a relatively large, long saber. They seem to know that we are coming to this forest. That's why they didn't chase us. Princess Anya said, could it be that different forests are different hunter territories? Sword, spear, broadsword. Qin Yun said, is this the division of power in the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range? They rested on a large tree and looked at the blade-like leaves. They are even more alarmed by the situation in the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. With our strength, we can't fight against those hunters. There must be a lot more of them. Princess Anya said. Just as Qin Yun was about to speak, he suddenly stood up. He stood on the branch of a tree that is more than 100 meters tall and looked down. He said with a frown, something is approaching. The nether soul, sacred blade, trembled slightly. A soul is approaching. I also sensed a very weak aura, but I can't locate it. Princess Anya opened the heavenly fire divine fan and said in a low voice, this damn place is really dangerous. Over there. After Qin Yun determined the direction, he pointed at the ground with his saber. Princess Anya immediately used the heavenly fire divine fan and swept out a flame that illuminated the dark forest. In that instant, they all saw something approaching them. It is a tall, lion-headed, evil spirit. It is the one that was captured by the hunters. Because the hunters besieged Qin Yun and Princess Anya, the lion-headed evil spirit was able to escape. This lion-headed evil spirit was covered in wounds, and red blood flowed from his wounds. Don't attack me, I just don't have it. The lion-headed evil spirit suddenly opened its mouth and shouted. Hearing these words, Qin Yun and Princess Anya are immediately startled. Although the lion-headed evil spirit is injured, it can resist the flame of the heavenly fire divine fan. This made Princess Anya very unhappy because the power of her heavenly fire divine fan is too weak. The body of the lion-headed evil spirit on the ground suddenly shrank slowly. Its swollen body, as well as the body parts of those abnormalities, all shrank inwards. The next scene caused Qin Yun and Princess Anya to be extremely shocked. The lion-headed evil spirit has actually turned into a very refined and elegant youth. His face is as pale as paper, obviously caused by heavy injuries. He looks very weak. He is wearing a white robe, embroidered with runes. It is the robe of an inscription master. The evil spirit has turned into a human. Moreover, it is a very refined and elegant-looking inscription master. Are you a human or a ghost? Qin Yun asked in shock. I am a human. Just like you, I am a human. The youth leaned on a tree and weakly sighed. I am Yi Shaosong. I am really a human. Then why did you become like that? Princess Anya asked. That's because I used the transformation talisman. That's why I became that form. It can make me stronger, and even if I'm caught, those guys won't eat me. They will just lock me up. Yi Shaosong said, took out a white talisman and stuck it on his body to heal his injuries. Qin Yun and Princess Anya remained vigilant and landed on the ground. Were those hunters? They seem to like to eat people. Qin Yun asked. They are evil spirits. Yi Shaosong said. They have eaten too many people. That's why they look exactly like humans. Princess Anya asked. They call you Heavenly Ghost. What is this? Yi Shaosong sighed and said, we who were born in the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range are all called Heavenly Ghost people. It's a long story. In short, I am a human just like you. You came here from the mortal desolate. You must have very important things to do, and I have some understanding of this aspect. After Qin Yun approached, he carefully looked at Yi Shaosong's robe. After seeing the runes, he is very surprised and hastily asked, where did the runes on your robe come from? This is my sect's inherited star rune. My sect has already been destroyed. When Yi Shaosong spoke of this matter, his face was filled with grief and anger. Your sect is... Qin Yun clenched his fists tightly. Inscription Gate. It's gone. Yi Shaosong sighed and said. Qin Yun's expression darkened. Back then, Qin Yun had entered the Blue Spirit Star Palace and passed the assessment to become the sect master. Later on, the Blue Spirit Star Palace was destroyed, leaving only the inscription Silver Mountain and the Inscription Gate. At that time, there weren't many people in the Inscription Gate. The three brothers and elder Shui Yi Hui had been waiting for Qin Yun near the inscription Silver Mountain. After that, they stayed in the inscription Silver Mountain to learn inscriptions and become members of the inscription gate. Where are the three brothers and elder Shui Yi Hui? Qin Yun clenched his fists tightly. They were the earliest batch of people from the inscription gate. Chapter 1845. Dragon Forest Town. When Qin Yun heard that the original inscription gate was gone, he became very angry. Although he had not returned for many years, when he was in charge of the inscription gate, he had always been worried about the first batch of people. At that time, that group of people had not officially entered the sect, but Qin Yun had always remembered them. He was also very relieved to hand over the inscription gate to them. Are they still here? Qin Yun said in a deep voice. Elder Shui is still here. The three seniors of Triple Radiance are also here. However, they are about to die. Yi Shaosong hurriedly replied, Big brother, do you know them? Quickly take me to see them. Qin Yun did not say much. He only wanted to see Shui Yi Hui and the others as soon as possible. Princess Anya did not say anything, but she secretly maintained her vigilance, guarding against all kinds of sudden dangers. She now knew that Qin Yun had indeed started his business near the Cloud Dragon mountain range. Back then, there was the inscription gate. Big brother, do you really know them? Yi Shaosong asked. He could also tell that Qin Yun and Princess Anya did not have any ill intentions towards him. Otherwise, they would definitely have taken advantage of his injuries to kill him. I know them. Quickly take us there, Qin Yun urged. He's still injured. Princess Anya reminded. Qin Yun also thought of this matter. He took out a healing pill and handed it to Yi Shaosong for him to eat. After Yi Shaosong ate it, his complexion improved a little. Not long after, he became very spirited, making him look even more handsome. Big brother, follow me. Yi Shaosong ran through the forest. He also wanted to bring Qin Yun to see Shui Yi Hui and company as soon as possible. Qin Yun and Princess Anya followed behind him. Princess Dark Knight asked, We met a huge red eagle before. Was it transformed from a human being or an evil ghost? Did the wings of the red eagle have many hands? Yi Shaosong asked. Yes. Princess Anya said, That thing attacked us. That's an evil ghost. It's just that it's of a lower level and can't become a human. If he eats enough people, he can take human form, and it's hard to discover that it's an evil ghost. Yi Shaosong said, In order to walk safely in the Cloud Dragon Mountain range, I often turn into strange things and disguise myself as an evil ghost. Previously, Yi Shaosong had turned into a lion-headed evil spirit. Qin Yun and Princess Anya now know that the evil ghosts and heavenly monsters are very strong. They previously thought that Yi Shaosong was the evil ghosts and heavenly monsters. When they saw him being besieged by a group of hunters, they mistakenly thought that the evil ghosts and heavenly monsters were very weak. In the end, it turned out that the evil spirits and heavenly monsters were the hunters, and the ones being attacked were the humans. They had also been besieged by the evil spirits and heavenly monsters, and their strength was indeed terrifying. They had powerful and indestructible bodies, and the holy power in their bodies was extremely violent. What's more, these powerful evil spirits and heavenly monsters didn't have a trace of evil energy on them. If those wraiths and heavenly monsters were to pretend to be humans and get close to Qin Yun and Princess Anya, they would definitely succeed in a sneak attack. Qin Yun and company became vigilant when they heard the hunters say that they wanted to eat them. Now that they thought about it, they felt a lingering fear in their hearts. They nearly fell into the hands of a group of powerful evil spirits and heavenly monsters. Qin Yun followed behind Yi Shaosong and said, Shaosong, you are quite strong. You were besieged by so many evil spirits and heavenly monsters, yet you were still able to escape. Furthermore, you were seriously injured, and yet you were still able to run so fast. This is all thanks to Big Brother and Big Sister. They attracted their attention so that I could take this opportunity to run away. Yi Shaosong sighed and said, "In this Cloud Dragon Mountain range, we humans are in a very dangerous situation, so our survival ability is very strong. It's so dangerous here. Is there anything important for you to do running around? Furthermore, you are alone." Princess Anya asked, "I heard that a large group of people from the Immortal Desolate have come. I want to go find the people from the Immortal Desolate and join them. This is also what Elder Shui told me to do." Yi Shaosong suddenly said with some sadness, "My entire family is a member of the Inscription Gate. It was Elder Shui who took us in. We also worked very hard to learn Inscription. Later on, my family disappeared one after another and never came back. It was Elder Shui and the 3 old grandpas from the 3 Radiants who nurtured me, but I don't have enough strength to protect them, as long as they are still alive." Qinyan said. He really wanted to see Shua Yihui and company as soon as possible. And they're all still alive. It's just that they're all heavily injured. Yi Shaosong said, "The reason I'm going to find the people from the Immortal Desolate is to help them heal their injuries." For many years, Shui Yihui had been helping the Inscription Gate absorb outstanding disciples. This was indeed very intentional. Qinyan was also unable to return to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range because the conditions did not allow it. Now that he was back, he had to make up for it. Shaosong, many people from the Immortal Desolate have come to the Cloud Dragon Mountain range. Do you know where they are? Princess Anya asked. Everywhere. There are a lot of people from the Immortal Desolate, but I heard that they're all formed from different powers. I don't know which sects they are from. Yi Shaosong replied. What's the situation in the Cloud Dragon Mountain range? Qinyan looked at the giant trees around him that were like blades and asked, "Why are the trees here in the shape of weapons?" I've asked some of the older generation. They said that these trees are guarding something. The area we are in right now is a forest in the shape of a weapon, and there is also a forest in the shape of a beast. Elder Shui and the others are hiding in the Dragon Forest area. Yi Shaosong said, "How many humans are there here?" This was originally a mortal land, but now it can grow into an immortal level space. Princess Anya could also tell that Yi Shaosong was very strong, comparable to an immortal emperor. There are a lot of humans. After the sun fell, this was the only place that was not affected. Some people did not want to wander the starry sky, so they hid here. Yi Shaosong said, "In the Cloud Dragon Mountain range, there are also many powerful human powers. However, if you want to join them, you have to sign a soul contract, and you can't betray them." Qinyan said, "Shaosong, with your conditions, should you be able to join a human sect?" Yi Shaosong shook his head and said, "I am a disciple of the Inscription Gate. I will not join any other sect. Moreover, the other sects will not want me." "Why do they want you?" Princess Anya asked. "Because I was once a disciple of the Inscription Gate. They are worried that I will steal their inscriptions and revive the Inscription Gate in the future." Yi Shaosong said, "In short, those sects are all rather selfish. Back then, the Inscription Gate helped them, but when the Inscription Gate was destroyed, none of them said a word." "Who destroyed the Inscription Gate?" Qinyan's voice is slightly cold as he asked. "It was destroyed by the Heaven-Defying Sect. The Heaven-Defying Sect is the strongest power in the Cloud Dragon Mountain range. It was established by humans and evil spirits. Later on, the Xieyang race joined. It was established by many fellows from the Devil Desolate. When Yi Shaosong talked about the Heaven-Defying Sect, he became very angry. Qinyan secretly remembered the Heaven-Defying Sect. Princess Anya also knows that the Heaven-Defying Sect is about to face a great calamity. In the Immortal Desolate, any power that offended Qinyan did not have a good ending. The people from the Sun Altar wanted to deal with Qinyan. In the end, 2 altars were destroyed, and 2 of the Xieyang from the Xieyang race were killed by Qinyan. The Immortal Emperor Ancient City of Holy Sun Ancient City had once attacked the Divine Inscription Mountain. After Qinyan returned, he almost overturned the Immortal Emperor Ancient City. In the end, the Immortal Emperor Ancient City's City Lord came out and compensated Qinyan with a large amount of sacred Xian silver crystals. After that, There's no need to talk about how miserably the Outer Heaven Domain Alliance army was annihilated. Yi Shaosong is a very talented inscription master. Qin Yun can see from the runes on his robe that the degree of finesse is extremely high, and the runes are also very charming. After they left the Saber Forest area, they passed through a forest of axe heads and arrived at the Dragon Forest area. In the forest of the Dragon Forest area, the trees are even bigger, and each tree has a giant dragon coiled around it. If one looked carefully, the giant dragons coiled around the giant trees are formed from many tree vines. It is even more shocking. Each tree is separated by tens of meters, and their trunks are huge and thick. They're all hundreds of meters tall. What surprised Qin Yun and Princess Anya is that there's a faint aura of dragon power in this dragon forest area. It is all released from the trees. What's with the spear in the hands of the evil spirits and heavenly monsters that attacked you earlier? It looks very strong. Princess Anya suddenly thought of this matter and asked. It was made by the Heaven-Defying Sect. Those fellows from the Heaven-Defying Sect can use those trees to refine weapons. Yi Shaosong suddenly stopped, touched a tree, and said, in the Weapon Mountain Forest, out of every 10,000 trees, there's one that can be refined into a very strong weapon. Those guys occupied the Spear Mountain Forest? Qin Yun said, whose territory is this Dragon Forest area? Yi Shaosong said, the Dragon Forest area is not anyone's territory. It is forbidden to fly in the sky above the Dragon Forest area. Furthermore, if you fight here, you will be punished by the heavens. After entering the Dragon Forest area, everyone must be obedient. Qin Yun also understood why Yi Shaosong suddenly relaxed after coming to the Dragon Forest area. This Dragon Forest area is equivalent to a safe zone. After resting for a while, Yi Shaosong continued to lead Qin Yun and Princess Anya and madly ran through the forest. After they crossed many high mountains, they arrived at a very lively forest. There are no tall mountains in this forest, only some small hills. The dragon trees in this forest are even larger. Each tree is 1,000 meters tall, and they are separated by more than 100 meters. The canopy of the trees is very large, and the dragons coiled around the giant trees are even more powerful. This is the Dragon Forest town. It is also a very safe town in the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. Yi Shaosong said in a low voice, you two, you must not fight in the Dragon Forest town. You will be punished by the heavens. Qin Yun and Princess Anya nodded. There are many big trees in the Dragon Forest town. The people here all live on the big trees. They didn't open holes in those giant trees. They only built large houses on the branches. After arriving here, Yi Shaosong did not run. Instead, he walked quickly to avoid bumping into others. At night, the Dragon Forest town is still very lively. Chapter 1846. Life-sealing soul devouring Yi Shaosong arrived at a big tree far away from the bustling city. Beside the tree trunk, there were many tree roots that bulged out from the soil. Those tree roots were like dragons crawling in the soil. Some of them were extremely huge, several meters tall. These tree roots were intertwined together, creating some holes. After some simple construction, they could also be used for living. Yi Shaosong brought Qin Yun and Princess Anya into a tree root cave. After entering, Yi Shaosong took out a glowing stone. Elder Shui, Yi Shaosong shouted as he walked. Little Song, why are you back? You should go find those people from the Immortal Desolate and have them take you away from the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. Your talent is extremely high. They will definitely take a fancy to you. An aged voice came from the depths of the tree root cave. Elder Shui, I am from the Immortal Desolate. Qin Yun replied and quickly walked forward. In the depths of the tree root cave, there was a stone room. On a bed, an old man with a head full of messy hair was lying. That old man was extremely weak. Although there were not many wrinkles on his face, it could be said that there were very few. However, he gave off the feeling that he was about to die of old age. Qin Yun saw Shui Yihui. It was still the elder Shui he was familiar with. However, his current situation was extremely tragic. When Qin Yun saw Elder Shui, an endless rage surged in his heart. Princess Anya hurriedly stepped forward and pressed down on Qin Yun's shoulder. She suppressed the anger in his heart to prevent it from causing an earthquake. Shui Yihui was lying on the bed. He had no hands, and his skinny body was pierced by many black chains and tied up. Those black chains released a black mist. It was obvious that it was extremely poisonous. His hands and feet were cut off, and his body was tied up by chains. The person who did this to Shui Yihui could be said to be extremely vicious and ruthless. Qin Yun clenched his fists tightly. He was so angry that his entire body was trembling. After a moment of silence, he roared, "Who did it?" Shui Yihui's entire body was pierced by black chains of different sizes. Those chains not only bound his body, but also his soul, causing him to suffer a fate worse than death. Shui Yihui opened his eyes. When he turned his head and saw Qin Yun, tears immediately flowed down his face. His lips trembled as he said, "It's you. You're finally back." Qin Yun hurriedly went over and injected a surge of energy to suppress the poison in Shui Yihui's body. When Princess Anya saw the old man being tortured like this, she felt extremely angry. She could feel the anger in Qin Yun's heart. "I'm back. Elder Water, I will definitely avenge you," Qin Yun said with a deep voice. "Where are the three brothers?" Shui Yihui is very excited. He is sure that it is not an illusion because he can feel Qin Yun's powerful strength. Princess and Yi also came over to check on Shui Yihui's injuries. "It's the life-sealing soul, devouring lock," Princess Anya said coldly. "The Heaven and Eyes sect has such a vicious thing. You recognize it? How do I get out?" asked Qin Yun. "Leave it to me." Princess Anya patted Qin Yun's shoulder and said, "Go and see the other three friends." Yi Shaosong was pleasantly surprised. He never thought that the person he brought back was someone Shui Yihui knew, and a very important person at that. He quickly brought them to Triple Radiance. The three Radiance brothers were already middle-aged men. They mainly cultivated spiritual force, and their spirits were very strong. They could fuse with each other. When Qin Yun saw the triplets, he could not help but feel angry again. That was because the triplets had suffered the same fate as Shui Yihui. Their hands and feet had been cut off, and their bodies had been penetrated by the life-sealing, soul-devouring lock. Moreover, their situation was even more serious. Their heads were tied up by chains, and their eyes were pierced by chains. They could not open their eyes at all, and they had also fallen into a coma. Grief, anger, hatred, and endless killing intent almost made Qin Yun go crazy. Fortunately, Ling Yun calmed him down. Qin Yun closed his eyes and could not help but shed tears. "Big brother, they are still alive." Yi Shaosong was also infected by Qin Yun's anger and said, "The three seniors might not be able to feel the pain." At this moment, Princess and Yi walked over. She was holding a large string of black chains in her hand. She handed it to Qin Yun and said, "Keep it. It's for you to take revenge." "Who gave it to Elder Waterback then? You have to return it to him." "Big sister, you're amazing." When Yi Shaosong saw that the chains had been removed, he was immediately overjoyed and excited. "It's not difficult for me. Fortunately, you didn't act recklessly. Otherwise, he would have died. Moreover, he would have died in an even more miserable manner, and his soul would have been destroyed." Princess and Yi walked towards Triple Radiance and let out a long sigh. She said, "I never thought that such a vicious thing like the life-sealing, soul-devouring lock would appear again. How are they?" Qin Yun took the life-sealing, soul-devouring lock and asked. "Although they seem to be unconscious, their souls can still feel pain. It's as if they are dreaming. They dream that they're being tortured by all kinds of pain. Moreover, this dream continues." Princess and Yi used a very special technique to control the life-sealing, soul-devouring lock to leave her body. "Who invented such a vicious thing?" Qin Yun asked. "Dark royal family." Princess and Yi sighed and said, "Many people from the imperial clan were tortured like this back then. Something from the dark royal family actually appeared in the Cloud Dragon mountain range." Qin Yun looked at Yi Shaosong and said coldly, "How long have they been tortured for?" "More than 10 years," Yi Shaosong said angrily. After the inscription Silver Mountain was destroyed, Elder Water and Triple Radiance were captured and thrown into the Dragon Forest area. The heaven-defying sect did it. Qin Yun tightly gripped the life-sealing, soul-devouring lock. Yi Shaosong nodded and said angrily, "It's them. They want to snatch our inscription gates, inherited star runes. If we don't give them to them, they will destroy the inscription gate." The heaven-defying sect was a powerful sect formed by the devil sect, heavenly monsters, and some humans. "I will take revenge on them," Qin Yun snorted. Although the life-sealing, soul-devouring lock on Triple Radiance and the others had been removed, they did not wake up. Regardless of whether it was their bodies or souls, they were all severely injured. "Their souls are very strong. They can hold on," Princess and Yi said. "They are triplets. Their 3 souls are very special. They can be closely linked together and quickly heal themselves." Qin Yun took out some sacred profound silver crystals and set up a large formation. He released the energy within the sacred profound silver crystals for them to absorb. Following that, they went outside. After the life-sealing, soul-devouring lock was removed from Shui Yihui's body, he gradually recovered. Finally, he no longer had to endure the pain. "Elder Shui, who is this big brother?" Yi Shaosong walked over and helped Shui Yihui up. Shui Yihui had lost both his hands and feet. It looked very painful, but at this moment, he revealed a smile. "Shaosong, he is the sect master of my inscription gate, Qin Yun." When Yi Shaosong heard this, he was immediately tongue-tied as he looked at Qin Yun. Sect master. Yi Shaosong was extremely shocked. Everyone knew that the sect master of the inscription gate was Qin Yun. Back then, there was a legend that the sect master of the inscription gate, Qin Yun, had gone to some great desolate land and would never return. Disciple Yi Shaosong greets sect master. Yi Shaosong never expected that this big brother would actually be the legendary Qin Yun. He was a legendary figure. "My inscription gate doesn't have that many formalities. There's no need to be so courteous." Qin Yun hurriedly supported Yi Shaosong and said, "Take care of Elder Shui. I'll go refine something." Qin Yun entered an empty stone room and took out some puppets to modify them. Those puppets were made from saint-tier materials. Qin Yun had previously refined these puppets in order to send them out to investigate under special circumstances. Now, he wanted to make a body that could be controlled for Shui Yihui and Triple Radiance to use. In just a day, he had completed the transformation. Shui Yihui recovered very quickly. His body floated onto the puppet as if he was wearing a set of armor. The puppet's body was controlled by mind, so Shui Yihui quickly adapted to it. "Sect Master is truly amazing. This thing is very suitable for me to use. It's much better than when I had hands and feet." Shui Yihui smiled brilliantly. He was truly happy to see Qin Yun again. Triple Radiance had yet to wake up. Their souls were severely damaged and would need a period of time to recover. "Sect Master, the heaven-defying sect, is very powerful. Although they were the ones who destroyed the inscription gate, I do not wish for you to risk your life against them because of this." The smile on Shui Yihui's face disappeared as he said solemnly, "They are the tyrants of the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. It's hard to shake them." "I know. Don't worry. I will definitely destroy them." Qin Yun said coldly, "What bullshit heaven-defying sect? I'm not afraid of them." Shui Yihui shook his head. "Sect Master, you must not fight them head-on." Princess and Yi suddenly asked, "The heaven-defying sect has developed so strongly in the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. Furthermore, it's an alliance between evil spirits and humans. Do they have some sort of goal?" "They've been looking for something," Shui Yihui said. "They should be looking for that immortal graveyard. Without the immortal graveyard diagram, they won't be able to find the immortal graveyard." The legend of the immortal graveyard diagram had been circulating in the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range for a long time. Back then, many people knew about the immortal graveyard diagram, and Xiao Yuelon had the immortal graveyard diagram in her hands. Back then, many people knew about it. Have they really not been able to find anything after all these years? Qin Yin asked. I remember that there are many great tombs in the Cloud Dragon Mountain range. Shui Ihui shook his head and said, those evil spirits and heavenly monsters came out from some of the tombs. The Cloud Dragon Mountain range is very big, and many of the tombs have not been dug out yet. Otherwise, even stronger things would have come out. Qin Yin did not know what Sekiru and company were doing. The group of powerhouses from the Immortal Desolate might come into contact with the heaven-defying sect. At this moment, Princess and Yi said in a deep voice, someone is approaching. Yi Shaosong cursed in a low voice. It's the people from the heaven-defying sect. They're here. What are they doing here? When Qin Yin heard that the people from the heaven-defying sect had arrived, a wave of anger surged in his heart. They will come to check on our situation at regular intervals. They want to torture us and make us hand over the inherited star runes. Shui Yihui said, it's good that they're here. Qin Yin took out the Nether Soul Sacred Blade. Chapter 1847. Qin Yun's killing intent surged, causing Yi Shaosong to feel nervous. In the Dragon Forest area, if there was a battle, how was it discovered? Princess Anya asked. I don't know either. In short, if there's a conflict between two people in the Dragon Forest area, the first person to attack will definitely be punished. Yi Shaosong said, that kind of heavenly punishment is very strong. It can directly cripple people. Many people and evil spirits and heavenly monsters don't believe in it. And in the end, they were all crippled. Why didn't Tian and I sect just lock Elder Shui and the others in Tian and I sect, but let them come back? Princess Anya was a little confused. Logically speaking, Elder Shui and the others have been arrested before. The heaven-defying sect forced Elder Shui and the others to hand over the inherited star marks. Elder Shui and the others refused no matter what. Heaven-defying sect thought that Elder Shui and the others were afraid of being killed after handing them over. So they brought them to the Dragon Forest District. Yi Shaosong said, after I found out about the situation, I protected Elder Shui and the others here. He advised me for a long time before I left to find the people from the Immortal Desolate. Qin Yin said, then when the heaven-defying sect people come here, they can't attack, right? Yi Shaosong nodded and replied, yes. At most, they can only curse at me. If they attack me first, then I can fight back. At that time, the one who will be punished will be him. Princess Anya murmured, if that's the case, then it's obvious that there's some mysterious power that's been paying attention to the situation in the Dragon Forest area. Rumor has it that it's a kind of natural force that produces strict rules. The Dragon Forest area is formed from the laws. Yi Shaosong said, the people of heaven-defying sect came. Qin Yun and the others quickly went out and met them in the tunnel. There were 2 of them in total. They were both middle-aged, burly men with fiendish appearances. There were traces of heavenly, monstrous auras around them. Yi Shaosong, you little bastard, did you go and persuade those old fellows who are living a life worse than death? The round-faced, middle-aged man shouted angrily as soon as he entered. You 2 bastards, get the hell out of here. Qin Yun shouted. Yo, you dare to scold me. The middle-aged man was furious. I'm not scolding you. I'm just telling the truth. You evil spirits and heavenly monsters, if you aren't bastards, what are you? Qin Yun chuckled. Am I wrong? Are you all pig bastards? If not, then what are you? Son of a bitch. Another burly, bearded man roared, his face full of blue veins. Ah, so you guys are bastards. Qin Yun laughed and said, I'm sorry, you 2 bastards. My eyes are bad, and I didn't notice it at first glance. Because you look more like bastards, and a little like a pig bastard. The 2 men of Tian and I sect were so angry that they couldn't speak. They clenched their fists and gnashed their teeth. Their faces were full of ferocious expressions, and they stared at Qin Yun with eyes full of killing intent. You 2 bastards, hurry up and get out of here. You're all bastards. Bastards should know how to roll, right? Hurry up and scram for me to see. Qin Yun looked at the 2 men with a smile. Little bastard, I'll tear you apart. The bearded man's angry roar shook the earth. Bastard, speaking human language, is quite decent. Qin Yun chuckled and said, "What are you guys still standing there for? Hurry up and get the hell out of here." Qin Yun was very sure that he couldn't beat people in the Dragon Forest area. The two men from the heaven-defying sect were both evil spirits and heavenly monsters. They were already furious, but they could only hold it in. Qin Yun's cursing with a smile on his face was indeed infuriating to those hot-tempered people. If you have the guts, don't walk out of the Dragon Forest area. Otherwise, I will make you wish you were dead, the bearded man said angrily. Just like Shui Hui and Triple Radiance, these idiots, their hands and feet were all chopped off by us and eaten by us, especially Triple Radiance. Their eyes were even dug out by us, living a life worse than death. Too many people have said this to me. Qin Yun's expression turned cold as endless killing intent surged out. Although Shui Hui and Triple Radiance had already escaped from the life-sealing, soul-devouring lock, Qin Yun could not suppress the anger in his heart when he heard about their torture. Humph! Who are you to Shui Hui? You seem to be very angry. The round-faced, middle-aged man laughed. I can talk to you for 3 days and 3 nights about how Shui Hui was tortured by us. You should really want to hear it, right? I'll tell you right here. The bearded man laughed happily when he saw that he had poked Qin Yun's sore spot. Yi Shaosong was worried that Qin Yun would not be able to hold back and attack. The two men took out 2 chairs from their storage space and sat down at the entrance of the cave. It was as if they were going to stay here and talk about how they had tortured Shui Hui and company. Just as they were about to begin speaking, Qin Yun suddenly threw out the Dragon Suppression Cauldron. The Dragon Suppression Cauldron became very large and opened up the passageway of the cave. In an instant, it covered the 2 men inside. Qin Yun quickly closed the lid of the Dragon Suppression Cauldron and put it away. Sect Master, what'd you do just now? Yi Shaosong said in shock. Qin Yun waited quietly for a moment and said with a smile, Sky Law didn't come. I'm fine. Hee, those 2 fellows, they'll have a good time. Princess Anya asked, putting people into a container is not considered a battle. Furthermore, those 2 fellows didn't seem to resist. They should have willingly been put in. That's why they're fine. No one seems to have tried it before. Yi Shaosong thought about it carefully and felt that Qin Yun's move just now was too fast. In the blink of an eye, he had trapped the 2 of them in a large cauldron. There was no conflict at all. Under normal circumstances, as long as one was slightly on guard, they would immediately dodge. Qin Yun said with a smile. They're sitting there very comfortably. Of course, they voluntarily entered my cauldron. The rules of the Dragon Forest area should be the same. Princess Anya was not surprised because a fellow like Qin Yun was in existence that broke the rules. No rules could restrain him. Yi Shaosong nodded and said, it should be like this. It's very difficult to determine the rules. As long as there is no conflict between the 2 sides, or there is no beating or killing, they will not be punished by the heavens. Shaosong, if you stay here, you should be able to protect the elders, right? Qin Yun said, if not, I'll have someone stay behind. Absolutely. I can protect Elder Shui and the others. Yi Shaosong said. Qin Yun nodded. He had originally planned to let Princess Anya stay behind. Princess Anya said, bring Elder Shui and the others back to the Divine Inscription Mountain. Elder Shao and the others will be in charge of taking care of them. Moreover, they might be able to grow their hands and feet again. Qin Yun shook his head and said, no, it might be more dangerous on our way back. I plan to let the Divine Inscription Mountain come over. He was worried that if he left the Dragon Forest area with Shui Hui and the others, they would be discovered. At that time, they would be besieged by a large number of heaven-defying sect people, which would be troublesome. All right, then let's return to the Divine Inscription Mountain together, Princess Anya said. Before Qin Yun and Princess Anya left, they bid farewell to Shui Hui and then left the Dragon Forest town. Shui Hui has recovered quite well. He has a puppet body refined by Qin Yun that can jump around. Not long after, Qin Yun and Princess Anya left the Dragon Forest area and arrived at the Axe Forest area. In the Axe Forest area, Qin Yun took out the Floating Cloud Pagoda. He and Princess Anya entered the third floor of the Floating Cloud Pagoda. When Princess Anya saw Qin Yun take out the Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppressing Cauldron, she knew that he wanted to properly torture the two men. Qin Yun enlarged the Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppressing Cauldron a bit, then took out a small black bottle and poured a large amount of holy oil into it. Princess Anya helped fan the fire from the side. Not long after, waves of painful roars came out from the Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppressing Cauldron. The effect is very good, Qin Yun said with a smile. These guys, they said that they would make me wish I was dead. They're almost done burning. Their injuries should be quite serious now. We could try those things, Princess Anya said. Qin Yun took out 2 life-sealing soul-devouring lock and said, "These 2 guys are both evil spirits and heavenly monsters. Let's burn them for a while, they won't die." Qin Yun also took out 9 Dragon Rune Heavenly Sabers and surrounded the Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppressing Cauldron to strengthen the flame inside. 2 hours later, the hissing sound inside the cauldron became much weaker. Qin Yun felt that it was about time, so he opened the lid and controlled the Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppressing Cauldron to pour out the 2 men inside. They are worthy of being evil spirits and heavenly monsters. After being burned for so long, they are still able to struggle on the ground. Their bodies are only charred black and did not turn into ashes. How do I use this? Qin Yun asked. Inject the power in your life crystal and then control the life-sealing soul-devouring lock to get close. Princess Anya said, You, how can you have this kind of thing? Could be taken from those guys? Impossible. No one can remove the life-sealing soul-devouring lock except by using our secret technique. The round-faced man cried out in alarm. Qin Yun said with a smile, This thing is more suitable for you guys. It's time to let you guys feel good. He controlled and activated the life-sealing soul-devouring lock and inserted it into the bodies of the 2 big men. They immediately let out cries of fear. The life-sealing soul-devouring lock was indeed very terrifying. After entering the bodies of the 2 big men, under Qin Yun's control, the chains burst out of their bodies and extended and penetrated through their bodies. They entangled and penetrated the flesh and bones inside their bodies, tightly entangling with the flesh and bones. It was very frightening. The 2 big men screamed crazily. This thing is really terrifying. Qin Yun also frowned when he saw this. When he thought of how Shui Yihui and Triple Radiance had been tortured like this for many years, he did not sympathize with these 2 big men at all. It has to be used on the heaven-defying sect master and those upper echelons. Princess Anya said coldly. Princess, you are very familiar with this kind of thing. Did you see it often before? Qin Yun asked. You should know that I was sealed by the Dark Royal family, right? Princess Anya asked. Do they use this thing on you? Qin Yun was shocked. Don't you have a very powerful body protection curse? The body protection curse can only guarantee that I won't be killed. Princess Anya said coldly. They wanted to force me to commit suicide, so they used the life-sealing soul-devouring lock on me. Later on, I broke it myself. Qin Yun sighed and patted Princess Anya's shoulder. He said, Everything is over. It will be fine. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.